job.
I almost finished the video, and it seems pretty pretty clear that this guy was a pretty fucking scumbaggy kind of guy. Like he transitioned and ended up basically just like deserting his wife and child, 2-year-old child. Like as part of the transition, and apparently that's acceptable, and no one can like criticize him, or it's transphobia according to Mr. Beast and him.
Oh yeah, no, that's stunning and brave, dude.
Yeah, you fucking just desert your fucking children. That's cool.
Yeah.
But what fucking blows my mind is like, I mean, I guess apparently the pedophile shit was too much when he started having some real inappropriate fucking conversations with a 13-year-old. They finally were like, oh, maybe that's not okay.
Didn't that happen a long time ago though too?
I don't know, but apparently this guy just got fired. So I don't know if it happened a long time ago. I don't know what the deal is. I just know that that he just got fired apparently because it's just become news.
It does seem kind of hard to. Oh, did we go live by the way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, it does seem odd. It seems not all that easy to believe that Mr. Beast would have been unaware of this all these years.
Yeah, how do you just suddenly find out that? Yeah. Although then again, I mean, you have to assume that if you're a pedophile, you're hiding it from everybody. You know, now assume it would include Mr. Beast. Although then again, I mean, you have to assume.
But apparently he had some kind of weird lolly picture, like when they lived together. Because him and Mr. Beast are like roomies for a while.
Oh wow!
He had some kind of weird pedo fucking artwork. Apparently he had in the living room.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would give Mr. Beast the benefit of the doubt because that's the kind of thing you would hide like desperately from everyone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Unless there's some sort of evidence that he knew.
But I think the allegations had been made before, though. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well, in that case, I don't know. Yeah, if that's the case, if they were made prior to that, then yeah, that's pretty scumbaggy that it took this long.
Yeah, I can't be 100% on that, dude, but I'm pretty sure they went off of them.
I know he said and did a lot of like racist and sexist shit online. Like just over the course of being a stupid kid on the internet.
Yeah.
They showed a bunch of like examples of him basically engaging in that kind of thing, and it was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, some of it can be just edgy humor shit, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't hold somebody using words against them. I hold their actions against them. So like, I don't give a fuck what homie said, as long as he didn't, actually like intend it to be harmful or hurtful to somebody. You know what I mean? Like it's, you make jokes, you make jokes.
Indeed.
It's not just using a word doesn't mean you're evil. It just means you use the word. How do you use it? That's what matters.
Yeah.
Oh, so the guy actually got arrested. The Democrat guy that worked for Biden. He's like an aide or something like that.
Oh, the Indian guy?
Yeah, he actually got arrested. Apparently there's some sort of crime involved. Like he was impersonating Trump voters and like committing hate crimes against himself.
Creating sock accounts and then committing hate crimes against himself from his sock accounts.
Mm-hmm. And so apparently he got arrested for that. Not sure what the crime is. No idea if it'll stick. But it's nice that there's an actual arrest and some sort of consequences. It's basically going to ruin his career. I mean, at the very least, his career is fucking over at this point.
You would think.
I mean, it better be, because goddamn.
Yeah, no, it should be, dude. Fucking A. But you never know nowadays.
That is true.
I mean, Capo still has fans.
Oh, well, I'm
That
sure you
bitch
still have
started
fans,
shooting
but
stuff.
as long as he's not working at the fucking White House anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. He's not actually working, yeah, for the government anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I believe that new Deadpool movie is out. I haven't seen it yet, but
Where'd you get that cup from? Or that bowl from? All right. Never mind. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, man.
well, I was curious because I don't have a bowl.
All right. Yeah, my mom just, I had put a bowl down for a minute. And she had just apparently snagged it
Mm.
and I wasn't looking. I made some mac and cheese. And I'm, in case you can't hear me
Oh, mac and
chomping
cheese,
on it.
nice.
But I put in some of the, I cut up like a couple of the, like the Hebrew National hot dogs, threw that in there. And then added a bunch of like crushed red pepper and then just some Louisiana hot sauce.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I like ketchup on
Yeah, I
my
like
mac
that.
and cheese. I'm probably like one of the only people, but I don't
No,
really do like
actually, no,
hot
it's
sauce
not
on
that
it.
uncommon.
I've never, to be fair, I've never
Yeah,
thought of hot sauce, but hot sauce sounds good because I like adding a little bit of sriracha to like my ramen and stuff.
yeah, no, it's really good with the mac and cheese. But I prefer to have some kind of meat or something in there, like bacon or
Oh yeah,
sausage
yeah,
or
yeah.
fucking. Yeah,
Gotta
that's really
have,
good.
gotta have some hot dogs or something, or some meatballs or ham. Ham is also really good. I like ham with mac and cheese.
Yeah, I was actually hoping there was some, at least one slice of the cold cut ham left, but sadly there was not.
Hot dogs are okay, but ham is definitely superior. I've done,
Yeah, that was
those like kind of cheap frozen meatballs. I've done some of those with mac and cheese. It's not bad.
yeah, yeah. So again, mac and cheese is okay by itself, but yeah, it's a lot better if you add actually something in it.
Yeah, I think if I don't have meat, I usually
As a
will.
side. Yeah, but for me, that was essentially my meal. So you know what I mean? Like
Oh, if
just
you're
mac
making
and
it for a
cheese is
whole meal,
fine.
yeah, you gotta have something with it, man. I would have like fruit on the side or meat in it or on the side or something. Yeah, you gotta have some other shit, some vegetables or something. Just can't be just mac and cheese.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Mix in like bell peppers or something. I never
Yeah.
thought of that before. That'd be
Well, it's
interesting.
like like if you're having mac and cheese, it's also nice to have like a little bit of like a fruit cup with like pears in it or something is really good, or peaches. I mean, it'd be nice
Yeah,
to have like an
pairs
actual
well.
pear or an actual peach, but
The pear pairs well with
they're not always ripe. Yeah, it's a good fruit to have on the side. I'm a big fan of adding fruit and vegetables to the meals. Like there
I
was
hear
some
you.
leftover pork chop. It was like 3/4 of a pork chop left over, and then some of the roasted potatoes and carrots. But I was happy to find some of the Brussels sprouts under there. I was like, oh yeah, get some Brussels sprouts in there.
Yeah, those ones. Yeah, I gotta be in the mood for that. It's
Oh,
one of
they were
those Brussels
roasted
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
Ah, that's
I
pretty good.
like to take the Brussels sprouts, steam them till they're mostly cooked, and then I put them in a little Ziploc bag once they're cool enough, and add like a tablespoon of oil and then a bunch of spices and stuff. Shake it all up so
Oh,
they get
gotcha.
really well coated, and then roast them off. Usually, for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they can still roast a really good long time, even after you've steamed them.
Oh, sorry. Sound puppy.
And then they get that good like
Sorry.
dark color and the caramelization going, and then yeah, that's how the Brussels sprouts are best. Like I like
Yeah,
just plain Brussels sprouts steamed, but if I could roast them, they're way
yeah.
better.
It's kind of like, um, yeah. I don't like them kind of mushy. So the roasted thing, I don't know why I never thought of that, but yeah, that's good. Keeps
Yeah,
it
and
doing a
there's a
little
golden
less
zone
mushy.
where they're not as mushy once you've roasted them. between that and the like burning them, you know, it's like eventually
Right.
there's
Right.
enough water gone that they just burn instead of browning, you know. But they're pretty tasty.
Gotcha. Yeah, indeed.
I like to do
Yeah,
that
both
with
of those.
asparagus,
Yeah, they
broccoli,
got a pen to
Brussels
be in the
sprouts,
mood.
like any kind of vegetable. That's fucking delicious.
Yeah, I was gonna say asparagus is another one that it's kind of I got to be in the mood for it a little bit. Not as
What?
much as like tomatoes, like very rare. But Brussels sprouts and uh, asparagus is a lot more common. It's
If I'm
pretty uncommon that I'm
roasting,
not.
if I'm roasting potatoes for something, I'll usually roast whatever the vegetable is as well.
There.
It's just like if you're already putting everything in the oven, you can put it all on the same fucking pan. You know, potatoes and
Yeah,
asparagus,
why
and just
not?
put it on like one on, you know, the asparagus on one end, the potatoes on the other half. You know, plenty of room, and they all cook about the same. Because you can. One of the things I like to do with potatoes is, you might have suggested this to me. Somebody suggested it, maybe. But I used to boil them till they were soft and then roast them. But then I've realized, like, what am I doing? And I just put them in the steam. We have, like, one of those plastic steamer baskets where it's, like, a little plastic basket in a plastic container. And you can put stuff in it and steam. And I just steam the fucking potatoes in there until they're soft.
Yeah, that's definitely how I cook them. So I probably was the one.
Yeah,
I
it must
cook
have
my
been you that told me,
potatoes.
because it comes out so much better once you've roasted it, like, after that. Because there's not
Yeah,
a... They're not all waterlogged from being boiled. And it was, like... It's just, like, they
yeah,
come out so much better texture. So good.
indeed. Haters.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. That, like, what a surprise that the trans piece of shit that used being trans as an excuse to fucking
Be a fucking degenerate.
leave his wife and child was also the same one that fucking was grooming a fucking child.
Yeah. Shouldn't not surprising.
Like, oh yeah, I'm stunned. Who would have thought that could possibly happen?
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
Yeah,
it's
so
weird.
surprising.
It's one. Is it just friendship? I'm wondering what Mr. Beast's motivation was for.
So
keeping,
they basically
have
have been friends since before Mr. Beast was on YouTube.
Yeah,
so Mr. Beast was
like
having his friends back. Is essentially what was going on for most of it. I think he was just like, no, this is my friend. I've known him for years and years and years. I gotta have his back, and it's unfortunate because, you know, like, I'm sure. Like, unless I don't know if Mr. Beast is like a good person or a bad person. I haven't really heard anything about him, and I don't watch his shit because I don't like watching people whose mommy and daddy bought them a fucking YouTube channel, even if it is really successful. You know what I mean? Because, like, he made his career off of just borrowing money from his parents and giving it away. And then eventually, like, you know, was able to borrow money from other people to give away and make more money off of, like, you know, till he started making enough money to pay it all back, and then, you know, gets really successful because he's got all that advertising and shit going.
Yeah. Oh, did he start off like that?
That was what I don't know if that's what he started off with. That's what made him successful, was when he started giving money away.
Yeah.
And I think he started with the bullshit of giving money away to, like, fucking homeless people nonsense.
Oh, gotcha.
You know? So it was just, like, to me, that's just gross. I don't care for those kind of channels. Not my thing. Other people want to watch them, fucking go for it. Don't give a shit. Not my business. You know? I don't have anything against Mr. Beast on a personal level. I don't fucking know the guy. I just don't like his content. You know? I'm not interested in watching it. But unless I hear differently, as far as I know, he's a good guy. Like, everything I've ever heard about him says he's a good guy. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. So I guess, the kind of lifelong friend or pre-YouTube fame friend thing, I guess, counts for a lot, maybe.
I would assume it was one of those things where he's like, you know, this guy's had my back for, you know, this is 20 fucking years, and now I gotta have his back because of this thing or whatever. Plus, like, the social pressures of course, you know, there's going to be a lot of pressure socially. Like, you can't, Like you
Can't
can't
criticize
not
the
like
trans.
you can't criticize trans people at all. Like it's just not allowed.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. Well, between Keppels and this guy, that seems to be changing. Finally.
I'd love to see it if they started fucking criticizing each other. You know what I mean? Like, like people who are just regular trans who aren't scumbags. Because, like, obviously he's not a scumbag because he's trans. He's a scumbag because he used being
Yeah.
trans as an excuse to desert his fucking family. Like,
Yeah.
and to fucking
Yeah.
get, like, not fulfill his responsibilities as, like, a father and a husband.
Yeah. It also might have been like he might have done it as a fucking shield as well. Because again, if it was years ago that, because I think he was still being a dude when he was, contacting 13-year-olds and sending them
Oh,
porn or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh, you know what I
So it
fucking
could
love
be,
about that whole thing? That's absolutely fucking the best part of it, the cherry on top, is his whole fucking thing
yeah,
is, oh yeah, well, you know what? That person came out and said that I didn't groom them.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's always
fucking
an
bro,
interesting
that's
one.
not how that works. Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
obviously
Just
they're
because you
gonna fucking
gaslit him
say
out of
that
it.
once you've groomed them. They're too fucking like that's how that works. That's how why grooming
Yeah,
is so insidious. You're just making it sound
yeah,
even creepier. Like, congratulations, man.
yeah, yeah. What you were doing was illegal, but as long as the victim doesn't realize they're,
A victim, then it's
or
okay.
hasn't yet realized that they were fucking victimized. Yeah,
Blows my
it's fucking
mind.
fine.
Yeah, just fucking the fucking absurd like double fucking logic there, or what do you call it?
Yeah, just what do you call it? Incompatible.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop. Stop.
Oh,
Come
somebody's
here, weirdo.
excited.
Come here. You gotta go around, stupid. Come on.
Oh, is he all
Sorry, hold
mad
on.
because he can't get in
Oh,
somewhere?
come here. Get over here. No, just somebody walked out the front door. Stay.
Oh, yep, that'll do it.
What are you doing? You got a guard dog. You going to pick?
Oh, yeah, that'd look real
Hey,
nice over here. Just some carpets.
come down. Yeah, it's funny because they'll even get his hackles up and everything. You're like, dude,
Huh.
somebody's coming out of the house you're regularly in, and it's going to be somebody you know, and he still fucking freaks out. Dude, it's really funny. It's adorable.
Oh, we used to get
Because
that
he's
from
not
our
going to.
dachshund all the time because he was just kind of blind. Oh, hold on, somebody's banging on my
Oh
door.
yeah. All right, puppy, come here. Come on, we'll go back inside. It's too hot out here. Jesus. I got to pee on the plant. Okay. Is it good?
I
You
wrote
reclaim that
stuff
plant?
on the shopping list very badly. That was a fair interruption.
Good penmanship's important, dude.
I'm dysgraphic. It's literally not my fault. Fucking, it's an actual disability. Like I know that sounds fucking dumb, but it really is.
Yeah, no, mine's horrible. Come on.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, I don't really like. I'm not taking it personally or anything like that. I don't really give a shit. But it's like, no, I literally, I'm dysgraphic. I physically cannot write clearly. Like it's not like a what do you call it? It's not like a
Yeah,
a
it's
bit
not
or
like
anything like
they
that. It's just something I'm physically
Uh,
incapable of doing.
yeah, mine's. I can. I just like I do it very lazily and very sloppily. So
Yeah.
I have no excuse.
Oh yeah. Well, it gets worse when I don't pay more attention and like try to do it like correctly. Like I gotta keep it slow and right. But yeah, it can be kind of bad sometimes. But I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Then the like the shit with the Chris or Mr. Beast or whatever was pretty cut and dried. The a couple weeks ago, or I don't know, sometime within the last month, everybody was freaking out because do you know who Tana Mojo is? Or at least
No,
heard of her?
no fucking idea who that is.
Okay. All right, she's some stupid bitch, dude. But anyways, like apparently, like several years ago, she fucked some dude named Cody Co. When
Ooh,
she was like 17. And do you know who Cody Co is?
no idea who that is.
I don't know. I think he's like a musician or something, and also a YouTuber. I don't know,
Oh, fair enough.
but
Fair
he was
enough.
like
Musician and
25.
YouTuber. All right, I
I
can
think,
understand
yeah,
that. That's prime real estate for banging underage girls. Like that's kind of like what you
yeah,
expect from that age, that kind of group of people.
yeah. But like on that one, like Tana was like, yeah, well, I mean, I didn't really feel any bad about it. Like she was just basically a young whore. You know what I mean? Like she just fucked a guy that was famous. Like she wasn't really all that super well known back then, I guess.
Oh yeah,
But people were like freaking out, and I'm like, yeah, that's not. I mean,
that's pretty.
it's
That's
fucking scummy.
it's a scummy thing
It's
to
definitely
say.
scummy.
It's a scummy thing to say, but it's fucking true. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but that's just what happens. Like, fucking girls are fucking ready to go when somebody's famous. It has nothing to do with anything else. Like,
Yeah.
they're just there to bang some dude that's famous. It's like the guys that want to fuck the girl that's super hot in school or whatever, or like just want to bang like the hot famous
Yeah.
chick. Like, they're not there because they like that person and she's a really cool person. Like, and it's the same,
Yeah.
and women are the
Some
same.
weird-
Like, well, I don't know why people seem to think that women can't fucking be that exactly like that fucking into just
Yeah.
like, you
That
know,
shallow. Yeah.
that shallow. Like, it's just like, well, of course they can. They're just as fucking gross as the rest of us.
Yeah.
Humans like to fuck,
It's going to make
and
them feel good.
if you
Yeah,
have
it's gonna make
something
them
that
feel
makes
good
you
that
more
somebody famous
attractive
fucked
to the
them.
opposite gender, they'll bang you just for having that feature. Welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
You know, like, it sucks.
But yeah,
but,
no,
you
for her
know.
at least, yeah. For her at least, she's like, yeah, no, I don't really feel like a victim in that. And it was weird because the person she was talking to, the chick she was talking to, seemed to be trying to talk her into it. That she
Oh
was
yeah,
victimized somehow.
yeah. They
Instead
do
of
that a
being
lot.
just
There's a
young
lot
and
of people who are
fucking
like, yeah, but like you didn't know any better, right? You know, like things like, yeah, they get weird about that shit.
Yeah, I was like, dude, come on. This is because people are trying to cancel the dude, and I'm like, yeah, it's really scummy, but I mean,
He's just being honest,
she's
man.
less than a year away from. Yeah, and the age of 17 is the age of consent in a lot of places.
Yeah,
I think they're like the fact that it happened, I guess, in Florida where it's 18 makes a huge difference for people. Yeah, I
oh
don't know.
yeah, I can
mean, in
see
the
that.
law,
I
I
don't know.
suppose.
To me, like, if you're breaking the law, you're breaking the law. I think if you're 18, how old was he at the time?
He's like 25, I think, somewhere in that
Oh,
area.
that's
25,
kind of
maybe 26.
borderline for me. I don't know. Like, that is a little scummy. Like, that would certainly not be something I would ever consider to be appropriate.
Yeah, no, it's definitely gross. But again,
Yeah.
people. I mean, like, I don't know. Do you deserve
But I
to
wouldn't be like,
completely
I'll
canceled
throw
over
this
it?
guy in prison or whatever, because, like, you know, odds are she was just as into it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he fucking like groomed her or coerced her.
Yeah, no.
I think she wanted to fuck the guy, and he fucked her.
Yeah, and then I don't see why people are upset with him, but, you know.
Yeah,
be
he
what it
seems
be,
like a
I
douchebag.
guess.
Don't get me wrong. She's fucking. She sucks. He's fucking horrible. And they got together and fucked when she was like less than a year away from being a legal adult. Yeah, I don't know. It just seemed very odd. Like I said, in this situation with Chris from Mr. Beast or whatever,
Everything
pretty
about the
cut and
whole
dry,
thing just
and
seems
it's
pretty
fucking gross.
dodgy. Yeah, everything what
Yeah,
you were saying about that thing just seems kind of like borderline, and then everything about this guy is just fucking disgusting.
yeah,
This Mr.
yeah.
Beast guy, like whoever. Well, no, obviously I'm Mr. Beast because Mr. Beast didn't fucking do anything, but other than fire the guy.
Yeah.
And you know
Although,
what?
yeah,
Maybe
he
it took a
probably
long time.
allow it.
Maybe it took a long time, but you know what? Eventually he did fire the guy.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Yeah, I assume if he found out about it, all this stuff, and there wasn't any public outrage, I don't think he would have fired him. You know what I mean? Like it was only
Well,
the public
because
outrage
like,
about it.
okay, so to be fair, and this is just devil's advocate here.
All right.
If there's no public outcry, you kind of are opening yourself up to a lawsuit
No,
because
for like firing him for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you
Oh
have to
yeah,
have some
especially
sort of grounds
nowadays.
to terminate the person. I mean, you don't technically, maybe it's an at-will state, but even then, it's still at the end of the day, you kind of have to have
Yeah.
grounds to
Yeah,
like
and
fire somebody.
that would probably draw even more attention to it.
Yeah,
'Cause it'd be like, why is that guy gone? Why is sorry, that girl gone? You know, like what happened there? Why are they not part of the team anymore? So yeah, I suppose that would be a tough one to to pull off, even if you wanted to.
yeah. I just think you run the risk of getting sued by the guy and that guy winning,
Yeah, it
even though
also
he
make you look bad.
deserves to be fired
Yeah,
for whatever it is, for them actually fucking molesting children, obviously, but
yeah,
or not molesting, but grooming a
yeah,
child. But yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah,
I can
yeah.
see being in the position of Mr. Beast and being like, well, I can't just fucking do whatever I want. I mean, like, I have to have a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's like for one thing, I've been friends with the guy forever since before I became
Yeah,
famous. And
that's
he's also
also a
now
part of it.
trans. And if you do anything against a trans person, you know what I mean? It's
Could end
going
your
to be,
fucking
yeah, it's
end your
automatically
fucking
transphobic.
career.
Yeah. Yeah. Although again, like I said, I think couples is the one good thing she might have done for humanity. It showed that, yeah, no, criticizing someone that's trans for shit that has nothing to do with them being trans isn't actually transphobic.
Yeah,
So,
that's my only objection to a lot of the stuff that goes on with
yeah,
transphobic
yeah, the protected classes.
accusations. It's like some of these people are just fucking scumbags. Like, stop fucking protecting
Yeah,
them.
yeah, there is no significant group of people anywhere that is not going to have some really great people and some really awful people in it,
Yeah,
and a
exactly.
bunch of average ones. So yeah, it's odd this fucking automatic halo these certain groups get. It's insane.
Yeah, like what's his fucking name? The one that hit some lady with a fucking car, and then suddenly he's no longer a man, he's a woman, and everybody just is like, oh, okay, I just will just forget that this guy murdered somebody with a fucking car.
Yeah, yeah,
What is that? What
yep.
was
Fucking
he's
Jenner,
yeah, Jenner.
Bruce
That's the one,
Bruce
Bruce Jenner.
Jenner. Yeah, or
You know,
Caitlyn Jenner. Sorry.
Caitlin, Bruce, whatever. I don't know if, fucking whatever the name
Yeah,
is.
indeed.
But yeah, like that's just gross. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's very odd. Then they said some conservative things, so they're kind of out on that. Yeah, dude, that was the greatest part. Not only that, but like fucking the ESPN with their stupid award show, the ESPYS or whatever,
oh yeah.
gave fucking Caitlyn Jenner the year that he killed the guy, killed somebody and transitioned, gave him the Woman of the Year award.
Oh yeah,
Dude, it's
yeah.
so fucking, dude, it's so absurd. It's fucking hilarious. Like, it's fucked up. It's ridiculous. It's absurd, but Jesus, dude. It's fucking, it's kind of funny. Like, the absurdity of it. It's kind of funny. Like,
Oh
no, fuck you women that have actually done shit and fucking have been women your whole life. This fucking dude, uh, he's a chick now. You know, that guy that still holds the world, I think he still holds the world record for the decathlon. No, probably not. Never mind. But anyways, yeah, the guy that won a gold medal, he's a her now. So,
so it's
Woman of the
okay.
Year. Yeah, he killed a guy. He killed somebody in his car, and now he's a woman. So let's give him the Woman of the Year award. Yeah, society's weird.
Goddamn.
Bottom
So
line.
bizarre sometimes. The things that like are considered to be acceptable fucking
Yeah, it's very odd.
yeah,
Dude,
if you look at like what's going on in China, a lot of what's going on here is stuff that started happening in China. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's like China has an epidemic of people that just won't do anything if somebody's in serious trouble. Like they'll all just stand
Yeah.
around and watch because what happens is anybody who gets involved runs a very serious risk of being sued and having
Yeah.
and losing and like being financially ruined by whoever they help. Like some little old
Yeah.
lady fucking fell in the middle of the street, right? And this
Right.
fucking
Right.
Good Samaritan dude comes over, um, and like helps her up. Or no, it was a lady. It was a lady came over and helped her up, and took her to the hospital and paid for her medical care. Like her and her friends like paid for this person's medical care, and
Yeah.
she ended up suing them, saying they must have knocked her over, even though like she was never knocked over at all. Like she just fell down.
Yeah, there was two stories in that one. The first one was just a one-on-one. Some guy helped an old lady and
Yeah,
paid part of her medical bills, and the fact that he paid part of the medical bills
was used
was
as
used against him.
grounds.
Yeah, yeah. Instead of, he might have just been a guy that was like, "Oh man, I've been pretty fortunate, so I'm going to help this poor old lady pay for some of her medical bills." They turned that into, "You must have pushed her down and felt guilty or something, and that's why you did that."
Yeah,
Yeah, the fucking old bitch that sued him. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh
That's
yeah,
why I'm
that
like,
was
God damn,
nuts.
Chinese people fucking suck, dude. Like, this motherfucker not only helped you, your old fucking ancient ass, but he actually paid for some of the fucking medical bills for whatever fucking reason. And that bitch turns around and fucking sues him. I'm like, yeah, yeah. So if you're wondering why I think China overall seems to be full of really shitty people, that's one of the reasons. Shit
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I would never
Yeah.
want to go there anymore. Like, that's not one of the places I want to, like, go hang out and see what's going on. And, you know, like, I'm out, I'll
No, fuck
pass.
no. Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere near that fucking country. What was the other one? Oh, dude, I don't know why, but that thumbnail with Megatron with tits, dude, just fucking really cracked me up for some reason.
Oh.
It's so fucking
You know, I
funny to
forgot
me,
to
dude.
watch that video. I was actually going to watch that video because I thought that
Yeah.
was hilarious. I was like, fucking Megatron?
Yeah.
What? All right.
Yeah. Well, when I posted it, I wasn't even. I hadn't even watched it. I think I put it in the comment when I put it on. I didn't even watch it, but this thumbnail is fucking hilarious to me. Fucking Megatron with tits, dude, was just goddamn. Yeah. What was the video about anyway? Oh, it was just it was just talking about Hasbro possibly buying out Mattel, I think, or merging.
Oh, so it wasn't anything really that
Yeah.
interesting. Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping it was more
No.
interesting than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Then I
No.
probably won't be watching
Yep.
that video because I just don't like really care all that much about those like companies.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was saying. I put the warning in there, like, hey, I'm only sharing this with a thumbnail. Dude, the flea circus thing was weird. I watched a little bit of that. I watched the whole thing actually. I'm like, wow, this guy's got a lot of free time. That must be nice. Like I thought I had free. I guess I probably could. Actually, I have plenty of. I have enough time to do something like that. And I got a dog that could easily get fleas.
Oh, dude, what was it? They
If
got
it doesn't
fucking
bark enough.
fleas, and where I work, they got fleas.
Wow, really? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
fucking. I was warned
Not even
like, be
that bad.
careful about the sleeping in the bed now because there's fleas in there, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the? Wow. So not bed bugs, but actual like I guess fleas are probably easier to get rid of. Maybe I don't know. Bed bugs apparently hard to
I
get rid
don't
of.
know. I don't know. The whole thing is kind of like gross. You know, it's like, oh, I guess that's just a normal
All right.
fucking somebody. Oh, you know what it is? Somebody brought their
Yeah.
fucking rabbit in. And they're all like, well, it wasn't the rabbit that did it. I'm like, nah, that's the only fucking animal I've seen in here. So don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
play fucking
Disgusting as
stupid. Come
the
on now.
yeah, as gross as the people coming in here may be on occasion, I don't think any of them were flea infested. So
Well,
yeah,
we
it was
have
probably
12
the
clients
goddamn
and none
rabbit.
of them have moved in recently. They've all been there for a very long time. So I
Yeah,
find it very difficult to believe that they suddenly
yeah,
managed to just spontaneously generate fleas. So I'm going to have to call
yeah,
bullshit on that one.
yeah. It was the goddamn rabbit, you fucking fiend. Who
Well,
the fuck?
and it's one of those things where it's like, why would you even bring that in? Like, what was the point?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's very
this is
odd.
not a pet store. We're not a zoo. I'm glad you enjoy your pet rabbit, but this isn't the appropriate. This isn't a place where it's appropriate to bring a rabbit.
Was that an employee? I'm
No,
assuming.
that was the manager. She's also the one who writes all the stupid notes.
Oh wow.
Because there's like now there's just every time I go in, every week I go in, there's like a new set of notes on the fucking walls, and it'll be dumb shit
Mm.
like. You know, they changed the bathroom one. You don't have to sterilize the sink and toilet. You're supposed to sterilize the toilet after every use, which I'm
The
never
whole
gonna
fucking
fucking do because it gets washed.
yeah,
The bathroom itself gets cleaned once a day. That's more than enough. I'm not gonna play
yeah,
that game.
yeah.
I'm not gonna go and
Fucking
participate in my manager's obsessive compulsive disorder. That's not how that
yeah,
works.
yeah.
Like ever.
Yeah, yeah. I try not to let my OCD, rule anyone else's life, dude.
Hey,
Yeah,
if
that's
she
pretty
wants to
fucked up.
fucking do it, that's fine. Knock yourself the
Yeah,
fuck out, but just don't expect me to give a shit.
yeah, yeah. That is very odd. I'm like, every fucking time you want people to like scrub down the toilet and the
Yeah, you're
sink. Like,
supposed
what
to
the
get a
fuck,
pair of
dude?
fucking gloves out from under the fucking out from the cabinet, and you're supposed to
Wow.
sterilize and use one of those, like the Clorox wipes or whatever. I think they got the generic Costco brand or whatever. But you're supposed to
Yeah, yeah,
get one of those out of the cupboard and fucking wipe everything down. And it's like, do you understand? Like,
yeah.
the
That's
reason why
ridiculous.
our toilets are so fucking uncomfortable is so that you don't have to do that shit.
Right. God damn. Yeah, that was fucking nuts, man.
It's just one of those things where you hear it and you're like, are you fucking with me right now? Or is this like dead serious? You really do mean this? And it's like, oh, okay, you're fucking dumb.
Oh yeah, you're fucking nuts. Jesus. Yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy, man. Every time, wipe it down.
Like,
Must be
what's
no
that? You went
germs.
to the bathroom. Better clean it up real fast. It's like, and don't get me wrong. Don't fucking leave piss on the floor or shit on the, like, stuck to the fucking toilet bowl. I understand. Being
Yeah,
a
yeah,
normal, civilized human being and, like, cleaning up after yourself when you use the restroom for whatever purposes you're using it for. But it was just one of those things where it's like, this is kind of extreme and silly.
yeah, yeah. The fact that that same bitch brought in a flea-bitten rabbit,
And now is
flea-infested
the
rabbit.
fleas didn't come
Yeah,
from the rabbit though. I'm like, well, fucking yeah, they did.
yeah, yeah. You show me how else it possibly could have happened. Yeah,
Oh, they were trying to
that is
blame
a
somebody
very,
else who has pets, and I'm just like, that's scummy.
yeah. Who didn't bring the pets in, right? I
Yeah, no,
assume.
it just they got it magically from their pets and brought it in with themselves or something. The whole thing is just silly. It's like, oh, there's also now a note up about not clocking in or out too early or too late, and it's like both of those notes, according to the scuttlebutt, the rumors and shit, the rumor mill. Both of those notes are because there was a specific person who had an issue in each case. So
Yeah.
the problem here
Instead of just
is
telling that
not
person.
that these people are doing these things; it's that the manager is a fucking retard and doesn't go confront them.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a
you don't
fucking,
write
like,
a note
passive
if
aggressive,
one
huh?
person is causing an issue. You don't write a note to your entire staff because everybody else is just going to think you're an idiot. Because
Yeah.
it's dumb.
And a
It's
coward.
not going to address the situation. It's like being in a relationship. Well, I kind of liken it to being in a relationship. For maybe at very most, I would say for like the first year, you can kind of pretend to be perfect, right? Like, people
Right.
can like play roles and like you don't talk to each other and really confront. Like, you don't want to start a fight. But eventually, at a certain point, you've been in a relationship long enough where you realize that, like, it's never going to change if you don't confront that person. And that there's nothing wrong with confronting that person, and it's going to be just fine as long as you're civil about it. And maybe you do end up starting a fight, but it's still never going to change unless you actually confront that person.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to get used to and comfortable with telling somebody no, telling somebody that they're doing something wrong, telling somebody that you need them to change what they're doing and do it a different way. You know, like, that's a normal part of being in a relationship. It's part of being in, like, a manager. It's just human interaction requires that you step up to the fucking bat once in a while.
Yeah, no, and it's very odd what women in particular, I'm generalizing, but what they seem to think is making something perfectly clear. What constitutes making something perfectly clear? Like, instead of just saying it outright, they're like, I thought I made it perfectly clear. Yeah, no, it's insane. Actually, bringing up couples again, like, Couples didn't want to bring her fucking girlfriend on her trip to fucking Ireland or whatever. She was supposed to be fleeing way back in the day. But basically, like, in the messages, she was just like, well, you know, you got to get a passport and that takes as long. And they're like, yeah, but I can expedite it. Like, yeah, but do you really want it? Like, and she's like, I thought I made it really clear that I didn't want them to go. And I'm like, no, you didn't make it clear at all. What the fuck are you talking about? So that's good. I mean, for a trans woman, I mean, she definitely nailed that part of being a woman. You know, for a dude, you know, somebody that was born as a dude, she's really nailing that part of it.
Yeah, I don't understand the idea of the hint thing. If you want me to do something or not to do something, just tell me what you want me to do.
Yes, I would actually greatly appreciate you being very straightforward about it. Like, you don't have to be angry or mean about it. Just be straightforward with it. No, hints are hints. I ignore those for the most part. Make it very clear that you want something to change.
Yes.
Not just hint about, hey, I kind of don't like that, or, you know, that kind of shit. No.
Or just like, my mom left her husband for that. You know, like, that's fucking great. I don't give a shit about your mom and her husband. Like, what are you talking about? Fucking lunatic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's very odd. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm curious about this. I imagine this is probably a traffic thing everywhere, but I just have to ask. So, for some fucking reason, like, every other day when I'm driving home, it's down a 2-lane street, and the speed limit is 35, and some fucking cunt is driving 25 miles an hour down the road. Like, whatever this fucking dude's problem, like, in his truck, or this lady in her car or whatever, they're driving down the road at like 25 miles an hour. And I'm like, alright, that's cool. There's 2 lanes, I'll go around. And then they're doing fucking 90. And it's like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, if you want to drive 25 miles an hour down the road, that's fine. Don't expect me to sit behind you.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do 35.
No, it's a very odd thing.
I want to get home and I want to fucking eat my fucking blueberries and granola and yogurt. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's not uncommon. Yeah, for people that somehow they're like offended.
Exactly.
Even though they're going slow and being an asshole, they're like, how dare you try to pass me? And they'll fucking speed up and try to make it impossible.
And you're just stuck with, like, the whole, like, but I just want to fucking... Just want to go home from work. Yeah. I don't want to be here, you know?
Yeah, I don't want to be stuck fucking driving behind your 25 mile per hour driving ass. It's fine with you if you want to do it, but I'm going to go around if you don't mind. Oh, look, it turns out you do mind for some inexplicable fucking reason.
And that's the part that I don't get. Is like, there's 2 lanes, so I'm like, oh, you know, the polite thing, I'm not going to honk or, like, tailgate or anything rude. I'm just going to, you know, move on down the road and go around. No big deal. Easy peasy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've had people pass me. I don't give a shit. Go around.
Dude,
I'll pull over if I'm going too slow and it's a 1-lane road and people are backing up behind me. I'll fucking pull over and let them go by the first chance I get.
Oh,
you know? I've been on the other end of that and I recognize how obnoxious that is, so I'm willing to take an extra minute and
Yeah, pull over and let everybody by that's obviously going faster.
if there's like 2 cars behind me and they obviously want to go, it's like, all right, no worries, bro. You guys go and have a great day.
Yeah, yeah. Most of the time for me, that's when we're like up in the mountains trying to spot like wildlife, like deer and elk and shit. We're gonna be going slow. If anybody else is not doing that, or whatever, I'll generally pull over and get the fuck out of their way.
Yeah. No big deal. I'm not upset by it. So I don't understand why other people feel this weird need to aggressively try to prevent me from getting around them. Like, it's like, what is your problem, dude? Like,
no, it does not make any sense.
Or
like,
don't, but
they're offended for some reason. I just don't understand why they would be offended by you just being like, I don't want to go as slow as you're going. I'm going to go around you, okay? I'm not going to jump in front of you and slam on the brakes or although maybe after you're speeding up I might, but I'll definitely be tempted to. But yeah, it's not like you're fucking with them back. They're like, hey, I'm going to go around you. Have fun driving 25 miles an hour for some fucking reason.
Yeah, I'm not tailgating. I'm not flashing my lights at him. I'm not honking my horn. I'm just calmly switching on my signal and driving around, and that's all I do. It's that easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very odd.
So
yeah, I do not understand it. I've never heard it explained by any of the people that do that shit, but yeah.
I would love an opportunity to find out. Like, if somebody were like just explain it. Like, I'll even promise not to find them and kill them. Like, for being such an asshole.
Yeah, well, I assume they're going to. It's not going to be. I don't know if they'd be honest. This thing is probably going to be. I'm very insecure in my manhood, so I felt like my manhood was threatened. So I had to respond. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's probably the truth. Like, it's something like that.
It's probably something dumb like that. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that guy who was who got interviewed who was cheating. I don't know if you ever watched that video. I remember I posted that video a long time ago. And he was just like, well, why should I even... Like, my time is super valuable. I can't risk that I would not win.
Not have a good time or whatever.
Not win when I'm playing. Like, why would I not win when I'm playing? And it's like, because sometimes you lose at games. Like, there's just always going to be people that are better than you. Like, obviously, if you're losing every game, I can understand being upset by that or whatever. Like, that makes sense, but you can't just expect to win every single fucking round, man.
Yeah. No, it's obviously that's a bullshit. It's just, again, losing, they're so fucking, they're like, their psyche or whatever is so fucking fragile that it cannot handle losing. Like, losing in a video game is like life ruining to them.
Yeah, it's so mind-blowing how upset they get.
Yeah, it's very odd. Because, I never fucking cared about my KD ratio. I never fucking cared whether we won or lost, other than, unless my teammates were doing stupid shit. That kind of sucks. But, yeah.
I get fucking really irritated when somebody is blatantly, very obviously cheating on the other team.
Yeah.
I do get upset. And I will point it out and be like, God damn fucking aimbots. So fucking stupid. Or something like that. But there's like a guy we play with who will start screaming and yelling. And I used to fucking get mad and yell when I was like a fucking teenager. Like in high school.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything was way more important back then,
Oh, yeah.
That's where you kind of realize, this doesn't really mean that much. It's shitty, and it's fucking...
Oh, yeah, well, and I don't play the ranked, where, like, you're winning and losing, like, rank with every round that you play. I've played occasionally if somebody really wants to, but I'm playing it the same way I'm going to play quick play.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just hoping to have a good time, and then...
Yeah, for me, like, I only played, and I would get pissed at everybody. I'm like, what the fuck? You guys are all camping, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Oh, camping is probably the one exception to the rule of I would probably eventually get really fucking upset. Because camping is the lowest form of life form on any kind of competitive
But what the other guys are playing out would be like your teammates were doing that too. Like everybody was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody here was camping in a lot of those games.
Because it did seem like I was the only one that was actually just going for the objective and not giving a fuck about whether I have a good KD ratio or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to try to get the objective done, whether it was capturing the flag or fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Capturing whatever land or whatever. Yeah. So I'm like, just have people just sitting around everywhere on my team as well, apparently.
I do occasionally spawn camp in Overwatch, very rarely, but once in a while I will if I really need to stagger their support. Like
there's no other way to fucking.
It's like we're not able to kill anybody but their fucking support once in a while. I will stagger their support if that's what it takes to give my team an edge. And I consider it to be a legitimate strategy because I don't sit and do it for like the whole game. I'll just go and spawn camp their person one time so that they're not on the same 15-second loop. Just to give it, like, if there's an 8-second difference between when they spawn and their team spawns, a lot of the time their team will leave them and come in with one person less than they should, and it gives my team an edge. And I know that's a lot of people might consider that inappropriate, but
but again, it's when somebody's doing the shit all the time.
Yeah, I'm not spending the whole round by any means sitting in front of their spawn killing their support. That's not cool. And then occasionally on Overwatch, and I'm sure this happens in other games too. One team is just so fucking mismatched, like they're just so mismatched that like the other team is basically just sits out in front of spawn and kills them every time they leave because they're so bad. Like they just, like it's just easier and quicker to finish the game by not letting them out of spawn anymore because they're just so terrible at the game.
Yeah, they have no. Yeah, it's clear they have absolutely no chance. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not to be mean. It's just like, all right, let's just finish this fucking matchup and get it over with. Like I'm not gonna. You're not gonna get even an inch on the cart, and that's just how it's gonna be, and it sucks. But at least you'll get a better match next time.
Yeah, we need to end this as soon as possible.
And I've been on the other side. I've been on the other side of that, and I'll just fucking emote. Like I'm a fucking dance in the spawn. Like I'm not gonna waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I can figure out a sneaky way to kill one or two of them and kind of give them some deaths on their KD, because I know some people care. I'll 100% try a sneaky way to kill them. But other than that, yeah.
People freak out too when you tell them, I have no idea. I have no idea what my KD is.
Yeah. The few times I've played comp, a lot of people quit in comp for some reason, even though like the punishment's really extreme. Like I think if you quit twice in like 20 games, they ban you for like a couple of hours or something, and then like if you do it like 3 or 4 times in the last 20 games, they permanent ban you from the season.
Oh wow!
So it's pretty quick, yeah. Because a lot of people will just be like, "Oh, we didn't win the first team fight. I'm fucking done."
That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, and you gotta be like, dude, are you serious? Like, you can't just leave the game. We could win this game. Like, you don't even know. It's just one team fight.
Hey, we can win the next 2.
Exactly. And so I've had times where, like, the other team will get really pissed off because 4 people on my team left, and I won't leave. And I'm like, I'm not going to get I'm not going to leave. Like, I'm not going to leave on the... And potentially get my account banned from the season or something. You know? Because if I did it every time, I would definitely get abandoned. I would definitely get fucking... lost for the season. The few times it's sad is when it's like the person's trying to fight. But like for me, it's like I'm not gonna go try to take it. It's not gonna take any longer. I'm not gonna fight you guys. I'm not gonna go sit on the objective or something stupid. Let's just go hang out and do like emotes and be silly or something fun, you know?
Yeah.
And most of the time the teams are cool, but once in a while, like the other team will get like really mad. Quit out, asshole! We don't want to fucking wait. I don't really give a shit if you want to wait. Like it's cool, bro.
Yeah, fuck you. Me having fun.
Yeah, it was that's what was kind of funny, but yeah, people take that game way too seriously. Although I don't know if you've ever tried to play League of Legends. I did try to play that briefly. That is one of the worst communities I've ever even seen in my life. Like they're just so fucking mean.
Which one did you say again? I'm sorry.
League of Legends.
Oh, okay.
Those people are fucking.
That's when gaming played, yeah.
They get mad. Like you killed their fucking baby or something. Like they're beyond reasonable. Like it's insane. And it's such a pay-to-win game. For them, huh?
Oh, right.
But none of them will admit it. Like they get so mad about that, and it's like, no, if you pay for the good characters, you do better in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you only have to pay once to unlock that character forever, but still, like, there's new characters coming out all the time. If you just buy the characters, you do better.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and they're always ramping up. Yeah, it's pretty easy to detect those, and it's fucking hilarious that for them, for anybody to claim that's not why they're doing the best. It's surreal. It's fucking insane.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, it's just an amazing coincidence that the people that have paid the most money are all at the top of the list. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, you can unlock all the characters through playing the games. It's like a lot of playing the game.
Yeah.
And that'll be fine, but you're going to spend a lot of time, and most of the people that do really good in the matches are the ones who end up with like all their characters unlocked and spending all that money.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, by the time you grind that, there's already going to be characters out that are better that are paid for by the whales. So yeah, you're never really going to catch up doing that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No, you never do. It's sad. I don't particularly care for those kind of games. They're kind of terrible.
No, I got sucked into them a couple of times, and yeah, the first time, it was forgivable. Doing it a second time was really dumb. Doing it in another game because I'm like, oh well, it seems like it costs way less than this one. Yeah. And then it turns out it wasn't that it cost way less. It's that there was a fucking shitload of individual little things that added up to a lot. You know what I mean? Like there ended up just being instead of like 4 or 5 main things, there was like 15 different like little weird things that you had to do beyond the main shit.
Oh yeah. Well, what is it? One of the things that's weird about the League of Legends that I noticed is a big part of the game is as you're slowly beginning the game, you're supposed to kill all these little guys. Like each team has a constant flow of these little NPC guys that go out and fight for you and try to like take over the other team. And so you got to kill a bunch of those and like build your experience points and level your character up, because like you can level your character up through each game.
Right.
And it's very strange to me that like you can spend the same amount of time killing the same amount of people, and you and your team have lower levels than their team, and there's no real reason for it, like other than like your different characters. And it's like clearly the character I have makes a big difference in whether or not I'm going to win this game. Like, how does that not just a generally accepted thing from everybody at that point?
Yeah, that is one of the cool things about games like Fortnite, where I don't know if it's still this way, but I assume it is. I hope it is. But everything that you could buy in that thing was cosmetic. I believe. I'm pretty
Oh
sure
yeah.
everything. I don't know if that still
Oh,
is.
for Overwatch, that's true. I don't know about Fortnite. I haven't played in a
Yeah,
long time. I played like a couple of
yeah,
matches like a while ago, and then I just never played again because I didn't
yeah.
really
I can't
enjoy it all
imagine
that
they
much,
changed
honestly.
that. Yeah, I assume it. I mean, that was a big to begin with. So I assume they kept that as part of the thing where it's still. Again, I haven't checked, but I assume they kept that strategy up, which was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice when the games that'll do that shit.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves
I
was
was
nice
think,
because it was all what do you call it? Oh, I can't think of the term. Because it was all
cosmetic.
cosmetic stuff. Yeah, like everybody had the same strength and all the weapons did the same amount of damage no matter who was
Yeah.
using them. There's a new game out that's coming out, Marvel based shooter game, like team shooter game. So that's going to be
All
interesting.
right.
But it looks like that's going to be similar too. Like that seems to be the new sort of standard. Is that for any of like the quality games, if you want to play them, it's always going to be cosmetics only. It's what you can buy. Although I
Yeah.
think for the
Yeah.
Marvel one, they're going to do a similar thing to the League of Legends, where there's going to be new characters that you have to buy.
Mm.
So I don't know if that's going to stay that way. You know what I mean? Like, because, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, so maybe that'll stay that way, maybe it won't, but, you know, one can only hope. Uh, that it all
Yeah.
mostly
It is
be
kind of fucked up
cosmetics.
if it wasn't.
Yeah, Overwatch introduces new heroes once in a while. They're pretty good amount of time between characters getting introduced. And like for a brief period in during Overwatch 2, the last two characters that they introduced, they were like, oh well, you know, you got to unlock them by unlocking the battle pass. And if you pay money, you can do the battle pass faster.
Right. Right.
Like if you buy the battle pass, like the first 10 levels are just like auto completed for you or something. So you'd be able to unlock
Yeah.
quicker.
If the yeah, if the grind to get the shit for free isn't too bad, then I don't really mind the
Oh,
you
for the
know
most part,
people
it
paying
wasn't
to
too
do it
bad.
faster. Yeah.
For the most part, it's
Yeah.
actually pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Like Star Wars Battlefront was like that. Could kind of speed the shit up, or you could just play a little and get it, not that much later. Like you'd have to grind a little, but it wasn't like a fucking interminable fucking grind to get any of the shit. And most of the weapons are pretty balanced anyway. I mean, games are by now certainly have gotten pretty good about balancing weapons and all that kind of shit.
Oh,
Like
that's
if it's a
good.
higher rate of firepower, it's not fucking causing as much damage. Like if it's a fucking one-shot kill or something, it's you can only shoot once every 5 seconds or something.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
So yeah. Some games do pretty decent job of it.
Yeah, it could be tough to find a good game for that kind of stuff, but it's nice when you do.
Indeed. Although it was funny because like there'd be levels where like the black stormtrooper, in all black, would not be the best. It's like it actually makes you stick out more in some maps. You know what I mean? But
Oh,
people would
really?
still do it just because yeah,
Funny.
because there'd be like a forest level or something where you can go with a color that blends in a little more, where black just doesn't. Like, it was a lot of bright shit wherever you're at.
Oh, okay.
But people would still play as that because that was the highest level. Like, that's the last one you get. So, like, it would be like an affront to them if anybody saw them in anything other than that. Because I would always switch whatever I thought would
yeah,
blend in
where
best.
people are like super into like showing off the like fancy cosmetics. That's funny.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, no matter what, they had to play as the Shadow Trooper or whatever the fuck it was called.
I actually did the opposite of that when I was playing Sea of Thieves. Like, a lot of the people would get like the really like rare cosmetics or pay for like the really really nice ones, or there'd be like ones where you could only get for like really difficult challenges, completing certain challenges, you know, like titles and stuff that you could get.
Oh yeah.
And
right.
I would always just go with like regular pirate as my title, even though I had unlocked Pirate Legend relatively early in the game. Like the highest,
hide your power levels, dude.
That's the way I looked at it. I was like, number one, we're all the same level anyway. Like, no, like, it's just your own personal skill, and I'm always going to run into people that are going to be better than me. Like, I'm not going to be the best person on the crew every single time I play.
Nah.
Hell, I'm probably not going to be the best person on the crew most of the time I play.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
you know,
same
like,
here.
and it was also just like, if the team, like, because you'd go through and you'd load into a boat and see if you liked that group of people or not, and, you know, sometimes you'd stay on that team, and sometimes you'd be like, all right, I'm going to go find another boat, you know? Like, fuck you guys, I'm out. I hated if they knew I was a pirate legend right off, because then everybody wants to do, like, a pirate legendary quest or something.
Yeah.
And it's just
like, oh, you can help me level up quick.
Yeah, and then that's all they want to do, and it's like, it's not fun, it's not organic. I'd rather just do like whatever people are into, just for the fun of just playing the game. You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes people just want to do like merchant quests.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I assume when I was younger, I probably cared more about that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I think I relatively quickly realized that was all fucking nonsense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
I'm
like,
sure
this just means I've grinded in the game for a very long time. It doesn't mean I'm a better person. Oh man, one of the things I do love about Conan Exiles is when you're running around or something, you leave footprints behind you. Like everyone does, like the NPCs and you, any sort of like actual movable character person with feet.
Right.
But it includes, hilariously, when you're climbing up the side of a fucking cliff. So, like, your character's climbing up the side of a cliff, you know, and you just see little footprints going up the side of the cliff as if they were just walking on it. Like, walking sideways up it. It's kind of fun. Little footprints just go up the side of the cliff face, and you're like, that seems improbable.
Yeah. Could at least make it handprints or something.
It would make way more sense if it was handprints.
Yeah, that's fucking funny. Yeah. I've been watching and listening to a lot of the Conan shit now.
I tried listening to it. I don't know, man. I couldn't get into it. Maybe it was that they were too hammy. Like they're hamming it up, making it like very dramatic in a lot of the readings.
He did a bit of, they do tend to put a bit of flowery language in it too, which honestly I don't
mind the flowery language. The hammy overacting where it's like, you could have just read that, like, you could have just read that like a normal person. I didn't need voices.
I gotcha. Yeah, no, you gotta get the right, there's channels that do it well, and there's channels Yeah, actually, it was one I was listening to a couple nights ago. I'm like, this bitch is terrible. Like, it's completely taking me out of the immersion.
And
Like,
yeah, that
she's
was what
so
I ran
bad.
into. Was there was just too much of that where I was just like, I'm not into that. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pass. Thanks.
No, they're not all of them do that. I think the Cybrarian is the name of the channel. They do it pretty well. All of them are going to do a little bit of hammy shit, but it's within. I feel like they do it within tolerable levels. Um, there's a couple. That's the one channel I can think of, the Cybrarian or whatever. I was watching the show. I don't know when. I forget when the show came out. Conan the Adventurer. With I don't know who the guy is. Like it's a very like a PG version of Conan, which is kind of weird. But it's actually okay. They none of it's super like it sticks to the lore fairly well,
Yeah.
but not completely.
I thought the
Like
stories were also like they were okay, but I think they might be a little more palatable if you are enjoying the nostalgia of hearing them again. Because
right,
some of them are like, I can
yeah,
see the twist coming 5,000 miles away.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Although
what?
yeah, I
The
listened to like the
strangely cold woman who's naked and taunting you and running away and led you into a trap with giants wasn't really a human?
yeah, the one that's not
What?
freezing and the frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's funny. What was it, Ymir's daughter or something
Yeah, it
like
was
that?
Amir's daughter.
Somebody's daughter. Yeah, yeah. You had to fight two of her brothers.
Fucking
Fucking
killed them
yeah.
both.
I
He's
just
trying to, like,
listened to that
rape
one.
this woman. He's like, nah, she ain't getting away from me, fool.
Yeah, I'm here dying on the battlefield, and suddenly she's here. I've heard stories of them showing up like this, but this one's probably real.
Yeah.
She's probably real. This naked fucking bitch
It was one of
is
those things where
probably
it was
not a
like, all
figment.
right,
Yeah.
that's a little weird.
Like, yeah, Conan's not actually dumb, right? Like, he's not Gru. Gru is a caricature of Conan, and you're treating Conan like he's Gru. Yeah, I've talked about Gru before, right? The comic.
Uh, I don't
It's been a while.
remember talking about Gru, but that
Yeah,
doesn't mean I didn't. I
yeah,
don't
you'll
know.
probably remember if I show it to you. That's one of my favorite comic books too. It's a spoof of Conan, except they make him exceptionally stupid. So basically, like he'll go around, uh,
Oh, wow.
like Conan does. He's a fucking amazing fighter. So you know what I mean, like Conan. But like basically, anytime he tries to help, he fucks shit up. Hilariously fucked. Like you know what I mean? It's a comic book. It's actual funny. Um, yeah, again just basically a spoof of him, and it's really, dude. It's actually a really funny one. I know I've talked about Sergio Aragonis or Aragonis, whatever the fuck the pronunciation of his name is. But yeah, he's a fairly well known artist, and he's the one that came up with it. He'd been doing art for Mad Magazine since like I don't know the mid '60s or something.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So he's a fairly well known artist. Um, let me see if I can get a picture of it. But yeah, for some reason I forget what the. I know it's explained at some point, but for some reason, like he's nowhere near any Asian country, but he has like twin katanas. Like those are his weapons. Yeah, I forget. I completely forget what the explanation for that was. But anyways, there's a picture of it if it might help jog your memory a bit.
Let's see. No, I don't think I ever read Gru.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of you had. I brought it up before,
Oh, I'm sure,
but
yeah.
it was a long time ago. Yeah, no, I definitely because I remember talking to Samaj about it because he's the artist part of it. Because I had a friend of mine that was an artist guy, and like I just like the stories and don't really pay attention to the art, and he was the exact opposite because he's an artist
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
a caricature artist, and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
So like he noticed, he's like, wow, this guy does a great job of like I guess I did kind of notice it, not really consciously, but Aragonés does a great job of like he conveys a lot with a little, I guess. Kind of like expresses a lot without in like the most minimal way possible. I don't know if I'm not explaining that right. I'm not sure if I know how, but basically, like his pictures convey a lot somehow.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's
Because
like
I was trying to see how I could explain it, but yeah, he
like
does a great
for
job.
fancy artists, they call it impressionism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where
Yeah,
they
in fact,
they don't draw with painstaking detail every last petal on every last flower in the nature scene, but
yeah,
they use just a few strokes to convey the idea of flowers.
yeah, and his stuff is definitely as far as technical precision is definitely not great. He does the shit really, apparently super quickly. So yeah, but he manages to convey a story because I actually have there's like a three issue collection of his called Actions Speak, where it's literally just drawings, no word bubbles at all, and it's very easy to understand what's going on just from the pictures.
Oh yeah.
It's a bunch of little like 1 or 2 page stories all the way through these books. So he does a great job of telling a story through the art without the need of the words to explain it.
It's like in a movie or a TV show. There's great lines that characters give where they're like say something and you're like, oh, that was fucking profound, right? Well said or something, and it really shocks and changes the story around a lot, really, really drastically, right? But there's also situations in which somebody just does something physically with their eyes or a hand or something, and it's very subtle, but it has a very profound meaning to the story if you've been following along and you know what you're looking at.
Yeah, or even exposition, kind of done without just kind of beating you over the head with it.
Like
I think
if
it was,
what do you call it? Like
I
there's
think it
a
was
lady in a room
Polly.
with a guy in the kitchen or something, and she doesn't trust the guy, so she's like staying near the door of the kitchen. Right? You know what I mean? Like she won't leave the doorway of the kitchen because she's like, nah, I don't want to fucking risk, what do you call it? Risk getting, fucking attacked by this guy or something. Like you pick up on that sort of thing when you're watching the show or the film or whatever, and it's very like, oh, okay, I see. She doesn't trust this guy. That's why she's always right next to the door, kind of thing. Those things where it didn't take a lot of. Nobody had to do anything. There wasn't like a lot of extra shit in there. But just a little bit of this or a little bit of that can really convey a lot of storyline and a lot of like character relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think you were mentioning Ladybug, how the exposition was literally just kind of blabbed out like in a natural way.
Oh God, they
So
didn't
fucking.
Like there was so many things where it was like, why is that character saying that? Why are they not showing that?
Yeah.
And it was just so poorly done.
Yeah, that's the bad side of that. Like, this is the opposite side of that artistic spectrum.
The idea is fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, the idea in and of itself, it was a great idea.
Yeah. But it was just a cash grab, so they didn't bother, like, putting any time, effort into...
Okay, so here's what it kind of felt like to me. I don't think it was just a cash grab. I think what it was is they didn't go into it with the idea of telling a story. Like, this is going to be a hilarious, fun story. That's not what they went into that with. They went into that with,
Yeah,
we're going to show why our moral opinion is superior to their moral opinion. Which is the same problem with the stuff from, like, you know, Disney and all these other shows where they're like, it's didactic. They're trying to tell you what to think. They're not trying to tell you a story. They're trying to make you believe whatever it is they want you to believe. It's exactly the same. It's just being done in a conservative fashion instead of a liberal fashion. It's just as fucking boring.
Yeah. It's like
it's like, I don't need you to tell me that it's wrong to let a bunch of boys play as girls in a game against girls. Like, I don't need you to tell me that.
The vast majority of people.
Everybody knows that. Make a funny story about it. Great. But, like, you don't need to... Don't waste my time with all this, like, frou-frou bullshit.
Again, especially with something like that. Again, there's... And, again, an incredibly small amount of people that are very loud and obnoxious that actually believe there's nothing wrong with it.
There's this super wealthy conglomerate that's been paid for by China and Russia, I assume, that is making it seem like it's the vast majority of people. I think China and Russia are behind BlackRock. I think that's where they got all the money to get all the stuff that they're getting. Because BlackRock had to get their money from somewhere. They didn't just get a bunch of magic money out of nowhere to pay billions of dollars for all this shit.
Yeah, well, from what I've heard is how they got big was they were willing to take on the disaster from the housing crash bubble bursting. So they got a lot of kickbacks from that for some reason.
Oh, probably.
But, yeah, it could easily be China and Russia as well. Because they are bigger than even that can explain, I would think.
Well, because, you know, like, everything they're doing is to break down our society to help China be more powerful. Like, it's pretty blatant.
Yeah.
And everything that's going on in our society right now is kind of a mirror of what happened already a long time ago in China. Like the Chinese people are pretty fucking disgusting at this point. Like, everybody that travels is just doing god-awful, insanely rude, shitty things to everybody that they meet, which is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like there's this city in Japan where if you go there, all these deer just live in the middle of the city, and you can, like, pet them, and you can buy food and feed it to them, and if you're very respectful and polite, it's like they don't want you to fuck with the animals. Like, you don't chase the animals around, let them come to you, kind of thing. And the deer have learned over a very long time to bow when they want food from somebody. So if the deer comes up, it'll actually bow its head to you as it's essentially asking you to feed it. Because, like, the Japanese, like, bow is a sort of thing to each other, and the deer figured it out.
Right.
And so, like, a bunch of fucking Chinese tourists went there and started jump kicking and punching the fucking deer.
What the fuck, dude?
Right? And then, like, the number of stories I've now heard of Chinese people going to places and shitting in the middle of the street or on a subway train or in a fountain is getting to be way too fucking high. Or letting their kids shit somewhere in the middle of, like, the public floor or something. Because, fuck you, you're not China, so you don't count. Like, they don't have to follow any rules. It's insane.
Like, it's gotta be, like, they have to feel inferior on some level. They're trying to convince themselves of their superiority, right? But I feel like if you were secure in your superiority, you wouldn't feel the need to eat a shit like that. Does that make sense? Like, deep down, they don't feel superior. But they fucking want to convince themselves of it. So they'll do shit like this to be like, see, I got away with that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to jail. They're just deporting me or whatever. Or, whatever the fuck happens. So, it seems like a massive insecurity is behind behavior like that.
Oh, yeah, it's very obvious there's something like that. Well, but also it's propaganda from, the Chinese propaganda machine. It's convinced them that they're the best people in the world. Like, that every other country is total fucking dog shit in comparison. And that they don't have to have any respect. They shouldn't have any respect for any of these people.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, and I assume,
wow.
especially with obviously they know Biden's not going to do anything, so they seem to have ramped it up. You know, since it went from Trump to Biden, certainly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of him not going for re-election?
I think it was inevitable. Everybody
it.
hated him. There really wasn't a lot of chance that he was ever going to even be remotely competitive against Trump. And then also, I think they sacrificed Kamala because they didn't want her getting too far up in the ranks either.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, why wouldn't Hillary jump in if they thought there was a chance? Gavin, you know, it's someone else. I think they know there's no fucking way they can win this, no matter how much fortification goes on, that they're so unpopular right now that nobody's beating Trump. And I assume I assume that's why the assassination attempt happened, honestly. I think that's why the resignation happened after that failed. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think they wanted that person to step down because he wasn't assassinated more than anything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he would.
I think it was intended
if Trump got killed. Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't think that's why it happened after. I'm saying if Trump got killed, I don't think Biden steps down. I don't think they make Biden step down.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, definitely no. If Trump had been, if that had been a successful assassination, they definitely would have kept Biden running.
Yeah, because they probably would have beaten whoever they put up against him. Possibly. And then, yeah, whoever's actually running shit, because we know it's Biden, could have kept fleecing the country however they're doing it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm like, people thinking that it was, they're blaming the DEI thing for the incompetence of the Secret Service. And I'm like, I don't think it was incompetence. They were, you know what I mean? They had to be in on that shit.
Oh, I think it was incompetence by design, though.
Yeah,
from what I understand, there was a very good chance that they intentionally left the security detail short of people, that it should have had more people, and that the people they sent were not, like, they're good quality agents.
Yeah. Apparently there was some, one of the details was supposed to be rushing up there and covering the president, just like kind of huddled behind the stage and like fucking crouched down behind the stage. Didn't bother going anywhere near Trump.
Yep. I left a comment about that on that video. I'm like, you should just get 2 fucking female agents in a trench coat pretending to be one agent next time.
Yeah. That might be convincing.
Because then they'll be tall enough to actually cover who they're covering. It's literally supposed to be a requirement for you to be on the Secret Service that you be taller than the person you're protecting.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of the fucking job. Like, it's not like it's not meant to be like mean or whatever. It's because you might have to physically protect them by standing in front of, between them and the danger. And if you're not taller,
even when they did that,
then you're not stopping.
They weren't doing a great job. Like, yeah, after like about a few seconds, they finally started like putting their arms up and shit. I'm like, Jesus, dude. Yeah, allowing him to stand and do the fight thing with his fucking fist, like it's a great fucking, great fucking pick, great photo op. But that should have never fucking happened. They should have kept him crouched fucking down and fucking surrounded him on the way out. You know what I mean? It was very odd that even that was allowed to fucking happen.
Yeah, that whole thing was real fucking weird, though, for sure.
Yeah. No, I was watching a video by Dr. Randomer Cam. You know that guy?
Oh, been a long time since I watched anything from him, but yeah.
Yeah, the autistic alcoholic guy.
Yeah. I remember who he was with. Yeah, it's just been a long time since.
No, but he was making fun of because Chunk Yogurt was on with Pierce Morgan or whatever, talking about it, how like people saying it was some kind of conspiracy or crazy and shit, and he's like, dude, No, it can be odd and also be like a conspiracy thing. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh yeah. Well, there's very little reason to doubt that there was a lot of very questionable stuff because the whole fucking crowd saw the fucking dude up in the fucking building and were fucking pointing him out to the police and saying, "Hey, there's a dude with a gun right fucking there," and everybody just
Yeah, for
ignored
what,
them.
about 10 minutes? Like,
Yeah, for 10
minutes,
fucking
right?
minutes, and they just ignored him and they didn't fucking shoot the guy. Like, there's some fucking shit going on there. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I could understand if it was like, oh, for like, 30 seconds before the guy took a shot, everybody pointed him out. Well, they just didn't have time to see him. Nah, they fucking saw him. They just didn't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude literally had time to set up a fucking
Tripod.
What do you call it? Yeah. Yeah. It's fucking absurd. It's ludicrous for them to claim otherwise. Again, no, that's natural.
Yeah.
Those people that are supposed to be super fucking well trained.
Well, I like the fact that there's
this
people
kind
who
of
are
shit.
thinking that Trump did it himself.
Oh,
Like, the
Jesus.
level of stupidity you
Yeah.
have to have on that. It's like, do you understand that guns are not like when I'm shooting a gun in a video game, I expect it to go where I aim. But in real life, there's a big fucking difference between where you aim and where that bullet could end up. You know, like,
Yeah, wind, gravity, yeah, all that shit. It's fucking there's all kinds of shit that factors into that. Yeah.
plus the barrel itself might send that bullet an inch or two to the side, just randomly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, you
yeah.
can literally lock a gun into a one place where it can't possibly move, no matter how much force it has, and you'll still end up getting a spread of bullets. You're not going to end up with them all going into the same place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, like, when you see a thing of, like, the longest sniper shots ever, like, there was one of the dude where the guy was shooting at was on this balcony somewhere. He's like, yeah, he was this far away, so he literally had to aim 12 feet up and 12 feet to the left to counteract the wind and gravity and all that shit. He had to factor all this shit in to make this shot.
Oh, yeah. Well, some of the one of the things they did on the boats and stuff was they had to start factoring in the curvature of the Earth, which they weren't doing, and they were like, "Why are we so inaccurate?" And they were so inaccurate because for a very long time they didn't take the curvature of the Earth into like firing these bullets for super long fucking distances from boats.
Yeah, because those things could fire what? Some of them could fire what? 20 fucking kilometers away, 25 kilometers away.
Oh yeah,
like
miles and miles away.
Very much
exactly.
So. Yeah. Yeah, so obviously, yeah, you would think you would factor in the curvature since you can't see the fucking ship because it's over the curve. But yeah, it's funny that it took them that long to figure that out. Oh, it looks pretty flat from where I'm at.
What was it? Oh, somebody was talking to the oh, it was the guy that was on Joe Rogan. Like, he's like one of the alien guys or whatever. And for some reason, a while ago, everybody decided that, like, he should be part of, like, the Flat Earth people. Like, they wanted him to be one of their guys.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was like, he's obviously he's not fucking dumb, so
right.
He's like, no, I'm not a flat earther, not gonna join your little fucking crew of morons. Like, there's just no reason. But he would talk to people and they would say like the dumbest shit to him constantly.
Yeah.
Like
dude,
he's like, you realize you're breathing in gases, right? And they're like, no, I'm breathing in oxygen. He's like, that's a gas.
Right. Yeah, and also it's also mostly night, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even
counting.
Yeah, no,
I know. Yeah, but no, it's funny when you tell people something. I remember telling a couple of my friends who were pretty fucking stupid, so I shouldn't have been that surprised. But I'm like, You know, like it's like it's over 70% nitrogen, right? It's like 20% oxygen.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's why fires don't burn forever. You know, why
yeah,
the
yeah,
entire
yeah,
atmosphere doesn't fucking just burst into flames if
and
any
just
flame
never go
happens
out,
anywhere.
and just never go out again.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
forever. You've done it. Now I'm
yeah,
fired for the rest of eternity.
yeah. But yeah, no, they looked at me like I was stupid when I was explaining that to them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's
obviously
fun,
you're a
dude.
fucking moron,
When
dude. What are you doing?
yeah, yeah, dude, that's it's pretty funny, dude. Like it was infuriating at the time because I'm like, what the fuck you guys are looking at me like I'm like what the fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, now I'm like, God, that's fucking funny.
I used to
Dumb
fuck with
people.
my friends over dumb shit like all the time. Like, gold is not a mineral; it's a metal. Even though, like,
Yeah,
it's both. Like, it's a mineral and a metal. Like,
yeah,
and there's no reason why it couldn't
yeah,
be both.
yeah.
But I would do that shit all the time. Play that role of the dummy. I've never. It's rare that you meet people that are that dumb. At least I maybe I haven't met enough people in my life, but most of the time I don't find people
Yeah,
quite that many idiots out
yeah, it's
there.
not easy. Yeah, it's not easy to fucking hang with people like that for long periods of time.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
You're like, dude,
Uh,
I can't. You're too dumb. You're too fucking stupid. I'm sorry. You seem like a nice guy. You're a nice guy, I guess, but
oh, there
I
was
can't
this
have any
this one guy I worked with at Costco Tire Center where like he was just mystifyingly stupid, and I don't have a good specific example. It's just like
No, I know. Yeah, I get that. I know what you.
where like you talk to the guy and you're just the more you talk to him, the more you're like, is this a fucking prank? Is somebody gonna jump out and fucking be like, ah, you're on candid camera, ha ha ha? Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck
you're
is going on?
fucking
How
dumb.
can any human being be this incredibly fucking dumb? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it was just mystifyingly stupid. And he was the nicest guy on the fucking planet.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
he
just
was
fucking dumb as all hell.
super nice. He was just really fucking dumb.
Yeah, it is kind of amazing. You're like, how is this long? It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's how did you get that far in life? What blew my mind was when I moved out with my friends for the first time and we were in this house together, three of us. And I'm like talking with one of them. He's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta figure out how laundry works. Like, how do you use a washing machine?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
"You're in your 20s, bro. Like, you're 22 years old. What the fuck do you mean? How does the washing machine work? Did you
yeah, it's super
never
not
do
complicated.
your
I
own
promise
fucking
you.
laundry?" Like
Yeah,
even if your
yeah.
mommy did your laundry for you, I would assume at some point or another you had just like extra shit you wanted to clean or something, especially when you're a teenager,
Just
some stuff you didn't
accidentally.
want fucking anyone else to see. That you were
Yeah, or
putting in
just
the washer or
accidentally learned
something
it.
like, you gotta put your fucking jizz rag or hide it at the bottom of your clothes and put it in yourself or something. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah, yeah, or just accidentally at some point seeing your mom do the laundry.
Yeah, yeah,
Then put
see
it
how it
in. Like
works.
it's
Like, oh
very,
yeah, she
very
puts
simple.
soap in the water in there and then puts the clothes in and they come out all clean. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, you would think
Yeah,
it'd be like it's just, but nah, dude, this guy had no fucking
dude.
clue.
Dude, that reminds me of fucking. I think it seems to be more common because I remember like in the sober living there was it was one of the other houses. Like the guy that ran it had a bunch of houses or whatever. One of the houses, like the toilet got plugged up and was like overflowing, right? And none of them knew to turn the fucking water off.
Oh my god, they just left it
Like
fucking
no one
running.
knew. They just let it kept fucking overflowing. Didn't bother to turn, the little knob behind the toilet. That's you can turn to
Yeah,
fucking
and
stop
if
the
there's
water
no knob
flowing.
behind the toilet,
Yeah,
go out and fucking find your intake water, like your water intake to the house, and you can turn that off.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
even if
yeah.
there
They knew
wasn't
none of that.
something there, you could turn the water to the house off the main line. I guess you call it main line. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So apparently, yeah, in the meeting, it's funny because like you could tell he wanted to call it the main guy a bunch of fucking idiots, but the guys in the future You know, when that happens, yeah, there's a valve right behind there. Turn that, and it turns the water off. So do that anytime something's overflowing. You know, and you
Yeah.
could just tell he wanted to fucking be like, you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. I cannot believe that grown adults, people, you know, because and obviously no kids were in this program in there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
A room full of men, a fucking house full of men did not know that. It was fucking
That
funny,
is pretty
dude.
baffling.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, also they didn't understand the concept of like when you do put the soap in, like you kind of rinse it off, otherwise soap builds up on the cap that you keep pouring it into.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You kind of rinse that out too, like, you know, to get all
I
the
don't
soap
do
out
that
of
as
it.
much as I
Otherwise,
should because our laundry machine is in the garage, and I don't like walking all the way back into the kitchen to do that.
yeah. Well, I would usually just do it in the water from the washing machine.
Oh, we have a side loader, so the water isn't flowing
Yeah.
in while
Oh,
you're doing it.
gotcha.
It's just you load everything
Oh,
in and then you put
gotcha.
it in a dispenser
Yeah.
drawer. And so I haven't done it
Yeah.
yet, but my mom has started just throwing the whole fucking cup in the washing machine with the clothes.
Yeah.
And so that
Yeah, it
might be
works.
my solution after that. It's just so I can be lazy
Yeah.
instead of rinsing it out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, all these were top loaded, so yeah, you could easily
Oh
just
yeah.
rinse it
When
out
you're
real
top
quick.
loading it, it's much
Yeah.
easier.
But yeah, like I had to suggest that. Like, can you guys do this so it doesn't get a bunch of that fucking soap? Because it builds up pretty fucking quick. I was surprised. I'd never seen,
Oh,
you know what I
I'll
mean?
buy
I'd
soap
done that.
pods. I'll buy those fucking Tide Pods rather than like if I would just throw one of those in there. It's like a dishwasher pod
Yeah,
for your
yeah.
clothes or whatever. It works the same. It's just super easy.
Oh yeah, yeah. It'd be crazy if people had some kind of challenge where they decided to try to eat those things.
Oh god. Now the ones I buy are really cheap, and they're just literally like they're like white laundry powder with a fucking gel coating, as opposed to like the whole what do you call it?
Oh
Because
fuck.
the Tide Pods were like all these
Okay.
different colors with like fucking like a little ball and shit. The ones I buy are literally just because I bought them for work because I didn't want to transport the laundry soap from fucking the office like all the way down. Oh, I should explain why. Hold on. So the house I work at is 3 houses put together from the 70s, right? So it's 3 houses in total, all put together. So from where the office is in one extreme end of the house to where like the laundry machine's in is like almost through all 3 houses. And so for some reason they stopped buying powdered laundry detergent because it was marginally cheaper to buy the liquid in volume, which I still don't believe. I don't think they're doing their math right. Because it just doesn't make
Right.
sense to me why powdered would be more expensive than liquid.
Yeah.
Because the powder is like you're buying water when you're buying the liquid. It's the powder you're buying just soap. So you're probably
Yeah.
using
Yeah.
way more soap than you're supposed to for each load of laundry if you're doing a whole scoop in every load with the powder. And I think that's what was going on. But regardless, they started doing liquid soap, and I'd have to carry the fucking cup all the way back to the office every time, and I'm like, it's gross, it's got soap all over it, and so
Yeah.
and it didn't have a lid, so I didn't want to fucking carry it down the fucking hall and spill soap out of it or something. It was just obnoxious, so I just bought laundry pods so I could just throw my stuff in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Oops. Stop. This fucking dog. Dude, anytime he wants to go under something from like under the bed or the dresser,
Oh
he'll
yeah.
take his ball and just like throw it like from his mouth, like kind of flick it out of his mouth. But he's obviously trying to make it end up under the bed or under the fucking dresser.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
it's so fucking obvious, dude. I'm like, you fucking asshole, stop it. Because he'll start chewing on shit. You know what I mean? He'll grab like whatever paper or whatever the fuck. And
Stuff
start
he's not
chewing on it
supposed
just
to be
fuck
chewing
with
on.
me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny because he only does this. It's only for attention. Like I assume he actually enjoys chewing on it too, but he doesn't do it at all when I'm not in the room. Like, I've never come back and he's chewing on something like that. You know what I mean?
He's
Leaving him for
fucking
5,
with
10,
you.
20 minutes.
He's literally fucking with you intentionally. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he wants attention. It's not like fucking with me so much as he just.
Well, I didn't mean that in like a negative way. I
yeah.
wasn't like
Yeah,
he's
no, I
like,
got
yeah,
you.
I'm gonna fuck this guy over. No, he's just like, I'm gonna fuck with this guy. This is gonna be fun. You know, like it's like if I do this, he's gonna get all fucking funny and it's gonna be entertaining. He's gonna be yelling. And...
Yeah, he's definitely going to come over and interact.
Exactly. Yeah, he gets the attention he wants. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because sometimes he'll do this shit immediately. Like, I'll be fucking playing with him and petting him, and he'll fucking like break away and start. What the fuck you? Like, why? I'm giving you attention. What the fuck? Yeah, it's very, very odd. Or maybe he just wants to play a different type of game. Yeah, because like he would start chewing on. I'd be petting him, and then he would start chomping on like the hampers or like the clothesbin I have. So I started flicking him in the nose. I started flicking him in the nose when he does it.
Yeah.
So now when he starts doing it, I don't have to flick him anymore. I just do the pose of me about to flick him, and then he starts trying to attack my hand, and we play or whatever. But yeah. Yeah, it's all like just he's like, all right, I'm done with whatever we were just doing. Now I want to do the play fighting or something. The petting was nice. I appreciate it. But now I want to bite, play bite something. So I'm going to go chomp on this because I know that leads to
even more interaction.
Yeah. He's like, I want to do this now. So I'm going to break away from you paying attention to me to make you pay attention to me in this other way. Poopers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Brad. Yeah, Brad.
So speaking of fighting, but not in the playful sense, did you see that guy's got a lawsuit? What's his name? Chris Brown?
Yeah.
The one that beat up Rihanna?
I didn't watch it. Yeah.
So, like, at first I was like, oh, yeah, he assaulted somebody. Sure. Like, she fucking was backstage and wanted to give him a blowjob, and now she's saying, no, I didn't want to. No. There were, like, 4 dudes that paid for backstage passes that he fucking beat the holy living hell out of. Like, hit with fucking chairs and kicked while they were down for 10 minutes and shit. Like, insanely brutal fucking violence.
Wow.
Like, he should be in prison right fucking now. Like, why is he not in jail? Levels of violence. Like, forget the suit, like the lawsuit thing. I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah, how did he not get arrested for this?
Like, yeah, how is he not in jail? Like, I don't give a fuck how famous you are. You don't get to just go beat the hell out of a bunch of fucking fans. And so, it's just nutty.
Jesus. I assume, I don't know, did the rest of his crew and posse just be like,
security,
no,
I'm sure security helped. Yeah, no, I've no doubt.
Yeah, it seems unlikely that even the fury of Chris Brown could take out 4 dudes all by himself.
Yeah, no, Chris Brown is not fucking beating the hell out of anyone all on his lonesome.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude. Although, again, couldn't be surprising.
Yeah, I was genuinely shocked at the level of violence. I was like, that's a lot of fucking damage. Like, wow. So hopefully they win as much money as they can get out of him. Like, he's out of money after that or something, because that was a brutal fucking levels of violence. And if he's not going to prison, he should at least fucking be broke.
Yeah. Jesus, was that picture of the Secret Service bitch on the Count Dankula video? Is she an actual Secret Service? Is that what one of them?
Yeah, that's one of the people they were talking about being like inappropriate for the job.
That looks like Shane Gillis, like in drag.
Are you sure it's not? I mean, he's spoken out against Trump before.
Yeah, this is true.
You know he would laugh at that one too, so he would get a kick out of that joke, I feel.
No, he's pretty indifferent to all that shit. I think he's just like, all right, now that he's out of office, can we at least admit that Trump was funny?
Oh yeah. Like that's one of those. I mean, Trump's a fucking character. Trump is fucking.
Yeah, he's
He's like
definitely.
a walking fucking parody of himself. Like, one of the things I've always
Yeah,
wondered is why people feel the need to like do these exaggerated fucking
yeah, like, yeah.
impressions of him. It's like he's already like a
Right.
fucking joke. What do you like? You don't need to do anything else.
Yeah. Oh fuck, dude, that whole bit. Well, his whole live at Austin, Gillis's whole live Austin one's pretty fucking funny. They're just talking about how he talks. He's like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he'll talk about how he said something. He'll talk about something and then talk about how he said that or something. Yeah. He's like, wow, what a big room. I walked in, and said, wow, what a big room. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That is. Trump actually does do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happens
God
when
damn.
you're like the big man that nobody questions. Like,
Yeah.
you get in the habit of saying stupid shit, and everybody's like, "Oh yes, Mr. Trump. Oh yes, wow, what a big room, Mr. Trump."
Yeah, very profound, sir.
I didn't realize how big this room was until you said, "Wow, what a big room," and then you said, "Wow, what a big room."
I was like, oh my God, you're right. You were right, sir.
And I
Did
said, "Oh
not
my
notice
God,
how big
Trump, you're
the
right."
giant room was. Yeah.
Like that's yes
That's
men
cool.
can end up leading to some very weird fucking behavior. Like there was this rich guy who was getting interviewed or something, and he just fucking stops in the middle of the interview and just rips a giant fart. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, you don't think that made you look cool, do you? That made you look like a giant
Yeah.
asshole. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of
everybody that
situations
saw
where that
that
could have
is
been
like,
funny.
what a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. God damn, that's fucking weird. Oof. Right. Oh, dude, actually, I want to come back to this, but the Conan show, the Conan the Adventurer. I don't know if you've seen the guy that plays it. He's a buff dude, not the worst actor ever, not the greatest, so
Show?
pretty decent. But anyways, um, like it's fairly consistent. Like I assume you've read or heard the what is it? The Elephant Tower. You know where there's the fucking impenetrable place. You know what story I'm talking about from Conan? The Tower of
I
the Elephant God
listened
or something like that.
to, I
Oh, the
listened to
Tower of
like
the Elephant.
3 or 4 of the books before I was like, all right, that's not cool.
Yeah, yeah. All right, that's usually one of the main ones. But
I think
anyways,
that was one of them where there was like this tower that no one could get into, and he finally gets into it, and
yeah,
this guy's like, "I want you to kill me, so that I can come back and be like repaired or something, or like fixed or reborn."
yeah. Like the guy,
He
the
essentially
sorcerer
killed
had
the
him under his
god so that
thumb.
the god could come back and be like powerful enough to like kill the one who trapped him in the tower or some shit like that.
Yeah, he like fucking in the book version. Yeah, I think he had no more legs, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Conan
yeah,
was
and
like, "Well,
then
I'm gonna kill and shit. You want to die? All right, let's go." I'm like, fucking
yeah,
yeah, I'm good.
yeah. He's like, no, you have to kill me.
And then there was
But yeah,
one
they did
where
that. They did
he was with
fairly
a
well.
noble or something, and they were there to kill some priest, but because the priest was supposedly a werewolf, but then somebody else was a monkey trapped him or something, and it was just the concepts were not bad. I just think that they're more appealing to somebody a lot younger, or somebody who'd read all that stuff when they were younger. Because I didn't really anything other than watch the Conan the Barbarian movie when I was a kid. You know.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, I still like all those stories. I've got a few actual books, from who's the guy that? I mean, I've read the ones by Howard, the guy that created them. Um, but there was somebody else that took them on that wrote a bunch of stories after. I forget the dude's name, but yeah, like he's done pretty good ones as well. Um, but anyways, like they did that Elephant God one in Thing, but it wasn't exactly the same because it's a PG one. So like all the kind of seedy, dodgy shit that Conan does, like gambling and drinking and fucking, being a thief. Like they leave that out of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's kind of lame. That's a big part of what makes his
Yeah,
character
yeah,
fun.
yeah. But it's a TV. It was a TV show in the '90s, so I mean, I get why you can't
Oh,
really.
TV show. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, like they did the same thing. The line at the end was great because it's basically like you get that jewel. The elephant's like, yeah, stab me, take my heart, squeeze the blood into the jewel. All right, now bring it to him, and when you bring it to him, say this, Yag Kanosh or whatever the fuck his name is, gives you a final gift with the final enchantment, and then set the jewel down in front of him. And like in the books, he basically like the evil sorcerer guy like ends up like shrinking down super tiny and then gets fucking sucked into the ball. And then like when Conan's looking in the ball, the elephant jewel or whatever, like he can see the elephant guy like in full form just chasing the fucking tiny sorcerer down and fucking him up.
Oh, nice.
So like that doesn't happen in the book, but he at least does, kill the elephant god and do that part of it.
Oh, that's cool.
And says the line. But yeah, like in the show, he just blinks out. You know what I mean? They just leave it at that. Other things like I felt like the thing with Crom, the Sumerian god or whatever, like the main guy, like they're pretty clear in the books that he doesn't really do anything after. Like their whole thing is like, yeah, he fucking breathes life into you, and fucking grants you with a strong will to live and survive, and that's it.
Yeah.
And they're pretty clear about, Conan's pretty clear about, it's pointless to ask him for anything. Because, he might help you or he might fuck with you. Like, you don't know. He's probably not going to do anything at all. Like, he pretty much just does that at birth, which is a nice thing to, I guess, have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, being alive is pretty cool. Yeah, most
handy.
people are pretty big fans of it.
Yeah, strong will to survive is a helpful thing, especially in those times. But in the book, or in the fucking this TV series, like Crom appears to him and is talking to him and shit. And I'm like, no, dude, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, so it's fairly faithful, but there's some shit like that where I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. So in the video game for Conan, the Conan Exiles game, there's like, I want to say, I can't look right now because I'm fighting somebody. Let's see. Oh, here we go. There are, what's the religion? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 shrines you can build to 7 different gods. But you can choose to be any one of those 7 religions, or you could be you could follow Crom. However, there is no shrine to Crom, and you get no benefit from being a follower of Crom.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah,
so you can't build a shrine. You don't get to sacrifice people to Crom. Crom doesn't give a fuck about you. It's essentially what you're left with.
Yeah. Which again, and like I said, the pretty rough land they grow up in, sense that their god is just going to be like, here you go, I'm going to give you this indomitable will to survive, and that's about it. So you're all on your own now. I got like shit to do.
Yeah, the whole Crom thing in Conan Exiles is fucking hilarious. It's very clear
very
that
accurate.
They read the books.
Yeah. That is always nice, dude. But yeah, just having some guy's fucking head up here that's supposed to be Crom talking to Conan. So why did my parents have to die? And I needed a warrior. It gets that kind of fucking like discussion. Like your parents had to die to make you strong enough or something. I'm like, all right, this is dumb. This was unnecessary too. Like, this seems completely unnecessary. So that's a little much. For the most part, it's actually a pretty entertaining series. But it's a Conan show, but it's PG. So like you'll see guys get stabbed and fucking killed, but you don't see any blood. You don't see, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird. But I don't know. Overall, it's actually a decent show so far.
What show is this?
It was from the '90s. Conan the Adventurer.
I might have to go back and watch that because it might actually be good. It's from before the fucking over the top censorship stuff started coming in.
Was that like the?
Yeah.
Is that the cartoon show?
No, it was a live action one.
Oh.
Yeah, I just posted a picture of the a shot of the cast or the main characters in the general there. So yeah, the guy who played Conan, he's not Arnold Schwarzenegger big, but who is? But yeah, he's pretty fucking ripped. He's a big dude. He's big enough to play Conan, certainly. So that's his band of merry adventurers. Yeah, they threw a midget in there. That's kind of nice.
Oh, that sounds cool, because one of the things that always made Conan interesting, at least in the films and stuff and in the books that I read so far, was that he'd always had like a random group of people around him that he was involved with, or another person at the very least that he was like traveling with or working with, or like, you know, like this person's
like
helping
an
him
Asian
rob
guy
shit.
because there was long stretches where it was like an Asian guy, sometimes a chick. Like, yeah, there usually be at least 2 or 3 people tagging along.
Like, if there's
with
magic
him.
involved, he knows a sorcerer, but he doesn't fucking truck with people that have magic most of the time.
I always thought it was interesting. Some of the books were always interesting because they wouldn't give you like a backstory of who these characters are. They were just sort of there. Sometimes it's like you just sort of like open up the books, like, oh, last time he was with this person, now he's with someone different. Well, yeah, I mean, shit happens. So.
Yeah, they always allude to like a past with these characters that never happened in the books, right? Like they'll be like, "Oh yeah, no, we were the spot in this time," but there's no, you know what I mean? There's no actual like fleshed out backstory to them. Oh, yeah. No, he's known them a while, so they're cool. Like, oh, okay, never heard of them, but okay.
Like how they should have left Han Solo.
Indeed.
To be fair, it wasn't the worst movie I've ever seen. It was actually one of the few I would consider watchable Star Wars movies from the new Star Wars stuff. But ultimately, they probably would have been better off just not making it.
I haven't seen that one. I think Rogue One might be the last one that I've seen. I actually liked Rogue One. I thought that was a
I'd say
one.
the Solo movie and Rogue One are probably the only two that are worth watching at all. Out of any of the shit they've done after the first 3.
I still say you didn't have to kill off all the characters. They could have just been doing other shit during the fucking original sequel. Or during the original trilogy. Yeah,
you're alone on that one. I can't stand Solo. I saw it once. That's good enough for me. I'll never watch that again. But to quickly go back to the Conan kind of thing, part of the reason why it's such a disconnected story, like because you don't know when they meet this person, that person, it's because each book is like it's a story that's told by Conan, and each one is like old man Conan. He's like, you know, on his throne and stuff, and then he's just telling you stories about like, you know, his adventures. He doesn't tell you like every little detail of how he gets from point A to point B. He just sort of like, yeah, let me tell you a story about this, and let me tell you a story about that, and that. So that's why there's no connection there.
Yeah,
there's not.
Which is a good way to tell stories.
Yeah, everybody assumes he's a big brutish idiot, but he's actually a fucking fairly intelligent dude. Well, that's part of what I like about the character, actually.
Well, and oddly enough, that's the same premise behind the Mad Max series. It's supposed to be like someone's instead of like Mad Max telling a story, it's like people saying, "Yeah, I heard about this guy," and they say it's Mad Max. Could be the same guy. Could be a totally different guy. You don't know. Because it's
until recently, like, it was assumed that it was in Australia, but nobody was actually sure.
Exactly. Society collapsed, and people are just telling the story. It's just, these are like legends that grow, which is why I actually kind of like it. But then we have this new one about Furiosa. I'm like, who the fuck cares? And also, why is it called Mad Max?
And that's the one where they broke the rule of actually showing it being in Australia unequivocally.
Yep.
Yeah, any new writers. I just feel like there should be no sequels or fucking any of that kind of shit of any existing property that anybody cares about.
The one they did before Furiosa, the one with the fucking like the one car that had the guy with the guitar shooting flames and shit. Like that shit was pretty cool. It was Mad Max though. It wasn't some other random character.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I know the Red Letter guy. Really like. At least one of them really liked the movie.
Oh yeah, one of those guys was absolutely in love with Furiosa. Jay, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not
I
mistaken,
forget which
the
one.
skinny guy with the red hair and the beard, like he looks like a leprechaun.
Yeah, the high cackle.
Yeah,
the high cackle guy.
He's like a leprechaun who lost his suit.
That's a good description. Yeah, he's a little chunker guy, a little short, chunky, redheaded guy. Yeah. Like if you found out he was like Notre Dame's mascot for like 20 years before he joined Red Letter Media, you'd believe him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Let's start that rumor. See if our zeros of fans runs with that.
Just watching some naked person run away.
Yeah, but yeah, I've seen the Conan the Adventurer ones are pretty much all. I'm only up to like episode 8, but I've seen season 1, episode 8. I don't know how many seasons there were or any of that, but yeah, they're decent, dude. Although those are tough because like when I'm listening to the audiobooks, I'm usually doing something else, like playing a game or whatever the fuck, and just kind of.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to him while I was playing Conan Exiles because I thought it'd be like the perfect accoutrement. But the stories were just so overly, like, it was just such weird fucking doing weird voices and shit that I was just like, I'll pass.
Yeah, they're not all like that. Like I said, the Cybrarian is the only one I think of that wasn't too bad. There are some where literally every character, which that sucks. Yeah, if you get one of those, that fucking sucks. But if it's a guy that's reading it and just doing a regular narration and occasionally like doing a little bit of a voice for each character, it's for me it's not as bad. But yeah, when they're trying to ham it up, I definitely know those ones because those get old really quick. Like I said, the one of that was I forget who the bitch was, but whoever was doing her voice, it was like some weird mixture of like Eastern European and like fucking Long Island. Like some weird mashup of those two fucking accents. It was very off-putting. It really took me out of it. I'm like, I can't even listen to this. It's taking me completely out of the fucking story.
Yeah, that was my issue.
Like, dude, yeah, they're not all that bad, man. You might have hit a couple of bad landmines in that. Yeah.
Well, I tried to find a playlist that had like mostly the books seemed like the books were in order. So I wasn't listening to like, you know, the newest stuff before the oldest stuff. So
yeah, although there's no real continuity as far as that
maybe I'll
goes.
try a few more, but yeah, it was just kind of like,
Yeah, I mean, other than like before he's a king or after ones where he's the king of Aquilonia or whatever. Yeah, any of the other ones is continuity doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, I'd never read them before, so now that you guys are explaining like that they're all told it's just random stories from an old man telling stories, it's like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, no, most of them are just a regular narration things. Yeah, some of them are like that where Conan's actually recounting it, but yeah, there's a lot of them that are just regular, standard narration. But again, a lot of the spoken line ones, and pretty much whoever's reading the stories, is going to do some kind of voice for the characters.
Oh yeah, because you got to differentiate them.
Not all of them. Yeah, they're not all of them are obnoxious though. Some of them are fine. They don't go overly hammy with it, like some of them definitely do. So yeah, it depends on which ones you come across. I'm trying to think of any of the other ones. Oh shit, is there an Acolyte pitch meeting? Oh man, I gotta watch that.
What?
Yeah, well, you know the Star Wars. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't watch the Star Wars stuff. I don't fucking fuck that.
Oh, that one's apparently especially bad. That one seems to be like nobody likes it. You know what I mean? Like,
I just accepted that Star Wars is no longer something worth watching.
Yeah.
You know?
As long as it's Disney.
Hot trash. Like, so I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm just not gonna watch Star Wars. Yeah.
No, I watch people that like review it. That's just.
Oh yeah. I'll watch somebody making fun of it, sure, but I'm not watching it anymore.
Yeah.
Like hell no, I'm not even gonna pirate it. It's just like, nah, leave me out.
Yeah, it's not even worth.
Oh, the pitch meeting guy, he's pretty fucking funny.
And you guys know anybody who's seen the Deadpool Wolverine? I think it just came out like yesterday, right?
I know that
Apparently
there's
that's
pirate
really
versions of
good.
it out, but I haven't like gone to the theater and I haven't watched one of the pirate
As
versions. So
Yeah.
as far as I know, like early ticket people, like people who pay like extra money to see it early, they got into it. The official release comes out tomorrow on the 26th.
Yeah.
So pretty soon, pretty
Yeah.
soon. I'm planning on seeing it this weekend. I'm still waiting because I keep messaging people to tell me when they're free. Like, are we doing this on a
Mm.
Saturday or this Sunday, motherfucker? Fucking,
yeah,
So
I'm
you're not one
definitely
of
looking forward to
you're
the
not one of
Deadpool
the
movie.
you're not one of the go to the stuff kind of people.
I go by my.
I'm one of those weirdos.
I'll go.
I
I'll
mean,
go
for
by
that
my.
it'd be tough because there's gonna be people. They're gonna be pretty packed. I think. I think
Yeah,
that movie's gonna do very well.
yeah. I go by myself, but it's just I know a bunch of people want to watch it, so we might as well go together. But I didn't
Yeah.
get my tickets early,
Gotcha.
so like I need to know so that I know what day to go there to get the tickets. Because I'll have to go there like an
Yeah.
hour or maybe two early.
Mm.
Which is like fine. I'll break my keto diet. I'll go and get something at the cafeteria or something. I'll eat lunch. You know, that kind of thing.
But
Oh,
yeah.
I try to
Yeah. The
avoid
only ones
fucking
I've heard are
theaters now
the
because I live in California. So I don't know what sort of weird
fucked
fucking
up.
COVID restrictions and bullshit they still have, if any.
Yeah.
Here in California, I don't know if they have any. I mean, for the most part, it's pretty much done.
I would assume so. Most people seem to have realized that, like, yeah, COVID's bullshit. It's just fucking the flu.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's annoying because like you'll go out there and you'll still see people wearing masks. I'm like, why? And those are the true believers, the ones
I
who
get the people that are wearing masks when they have like a cold or the flu because they don't want to give it to other people. I don't get the ones who just wear them all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Try to
Because I can
prevent
understand,
themselves from
like, if
getting
you're
sick.
coughing and hacking and you're just keeping it from going out and spraying everywhere, or trying to at least, I understand the concept behind it. That's like more like being polite. If you have to go out, wear a mask so you don't spread it. But the
Mhm.
people who think that the masks, like, still think the masks are going to protect them are just like, that's bizarre. I don't understand that one at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's roundly proven. It's proven pretty quickly.
Well, and those are the people who are like wishing that the pandemic would come back because they probably like being little hall monitors and telling you that wear your mask, oh you're risking lives, blah 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 blah.
You're going to kill my grandma.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I bet they would wish the restrictions came back.
God damn.
That's just how it is. Some people just they really got into it. I bet Karens fucking love the pandemic.
Oh, God, yeah. That was like Karen fucking crack. Because
Oh
you had
yeah.
you had Karens on both sides of that fucking thing, though. To be fair, there were a lot of people who were like absolutely ridiculous about not wearing masks and absolutely ridiculous about wearing masks. It was like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Weird
Like, just
fanaticism
so
on both
dumb.
sides.
Like
Yeah.
it's one thing to be like, look, I'm not wearing a mask. It's silly. It's bullshit. I'm not going to put one on. It's another one to be like, coughing on people or spitting on them, like
Yeah.
shit like
Yeah.
that. You're like, oh no, I'm gonna get you with my COVID germs. Ah, like that's okay. All right, let's grow up. Like, can we not? Can we not be 4-year-olds? Is that cool?
No, no, because the world's a silly place right now.
True. Very
I was
true.
just looking it up. Apparently, there was a Tower of the Elephant thing in Conan Exiles.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I just came across a video about it. I posted in the Discord. It's like a 2-minute video about the Tower of the Elephant in Conan Exiles. Yeah, but yeah,
There's
if you
a lot
see
of
any of the ones that
references.
say like, yeah, any of the ones that say like full cast audio play or something like that, yeah, I would stay away from any of those if you're gonna try to listen to them again. If you're gonna bother trying to listen to any of the Conan books again. Because those are the ones where, yeah, every character's got a different voice, dude, or whatever, and yeah, that shit's, yeah, it's not good. It seems like it would be, it's not. It just
Not as
sucks.
fun.
Yeah, just a regular narrator. Occasionally, people, they're actually talking in the book. When there's actual dialogue in the book.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'll be
that's
right
usually
back.
pretty
Yeah. I like listening to audiobooks. I always think they're kind of fun, but it depends on who's reading it and who's doing it. The other thing is, like, I don't know if you ever listen to like the radio dramas where they get a bunch of actors and all reading out different lines like they're doing an actual radio play. Like, those can be fun. It just depends on the book and the actor,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Like, there was one done by a bunch of actors who were like reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Those ones were
Mhm.
lots of fun. Those are like great actors that they got there. Like, I could take that audio and do like an animation over top of it, and it'd be flawless.
Yeah, I think it probably does depend a lot on the quality of the people doing it too. We're just a bunch of random fucking assholes trying to do a full cast one of every character in the book. It's going to be very hit and
Yeah,
miss. But yeah, I think at talent, and they're not, because it seems to be the tendency is to really overact by most of the people doing it. You know what I mean? Like they're really fucking hamming it up in an unnecessary way.
yeah. Sometimes that'll be a real problem depending on what it is you're doing. But like, I
Yeah,
think
I
it was
wish I
like,
could find the one. So that accent was so bad. Because again, there's plenty where the guy they'll do some kind of character voice or whatever, but she was just so loud, and the accent was so not. It was so random. It was a weird mix. Yeah, somehow you can mix Eastern European with Brooklyn or something. It's fucking horrible.
I think the other one the other problem I have with some of these audiobooks is that, okay, I don't know if you ever read the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. One of
No,
my
I saw the
it's
movie.
you saw okay, yeah, it's one of my favorite book series of all time. I've gone through all of them. They're wonderful. I highly recommend them. But the problem with well, it's not really a problem. But the thing is, in the books, is that there's often like the narrator who's like telling you, like, like in books, they'll describe to you like what the characters are doing and all that, and describing the situation or the room or whatever else. But the thing is, with the radio play, is that there's a lot of sound effects that imply a bunch of things, but they don't really describe. So, and that's because it's a radio play, not like you actually have a narrator, which it would help if they
Right,
did.
right.
And the nice thing is, like, in the movie, they had like Stephen Fry played the narrator, which was amazing.
Yeah,
It was great. Well,
yeah. I love the petunia. Was it the petunias or yeah, of course, or oh, this again or something?
yeah,
How did
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like it makes no sense, but it's fucking funny.
Well, it made sense because that was always a common joke in movies back in the day. Like, petunias would fall out of someone's window and hits the main character in the head.
Yeah. Oh, is that what that was? I never knew what that fucking meant.
Yeah, it was a reference
That's
to like
fucking great.
cartoon. Yeah, it was a reference like to
Okay.
cartoons and movies. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I
that's
thought
it.
it was just some random thing. Like juniors had some kind of fucking weirdness to them. All right, never mind.
I mean,
Either way,
technically,
it's still pretty good.
Will was the improbability drive, so I mean, it made sense that it was very improbable. But
Yeah.
at least we got to know the thoughts of the petunias, and they're like, "Oh, great, here we go again." As for the sperm whale, oh my god, I'm alive!
Yeah. So, well, yeah, you read the books, I assume, before.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I went through like I went through ups and downs when it came to the movie because I'm like, well, this wasn't in the book, and blah 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 blah. They made all this. Now that some time has passed, and I actually really appreciate what they did. I'm happy for the
All right.
movie.
Yeah, it's yeah. Lord of the Rings was probably the main one. I was like, that's not what happened in the book. And where's Tom Bombadil? But then, yeah, you figure like, all right, no, that's fine. The way they did it is fine. It's I understand why they did what they did. Tom Bombadil is not essential to anything. He's a great character, but he doesn't. Yeah, he's not really essential to the plot. So I can understand why you didn't put him in there.
Frankly, I'm surprised they didn't just refilm some of those things for any like collector's edition because those movies did so well. I mean, like, how hard would it have been to find a scene and just add some things to it? And it's not like you're taking anything away from it; you're just adding stuff that was originally in the book. I
Well, I
think it
mean,
was
I don't think it was a very ambitious project at the time. I don't think they expected it to do nearly as well as it did. because Peter Jackson was like, no, I'm shooting all three, otherwise, or I'm not doing it. We're not doing just one and seeing if it does okay. I'm shooting all three, or I'm not shooting any of them. And then, like, the first one alone made back their money and then some for all three, like the budget for all three of them, and it obviously got fucking insanely huge. But yeah, it wasn't nearly. Yeah, because I had nothing to do with Lord of the Rings. I was definitely aware of it as a kid, but like the one thing I knew about it was like the Ents. The time I was like, talking trees. What kind of fucking stupid shit is that? You know what I mean? I was like, that's fucking retarded. I'm not getting into that. So for some reason, that really like put me off of the whole thing. But then like I remember when it came out, when Fellowship came out, I didn't see it in theaters. I was on the phone. I was like in a Hollywood Video. If anyone's old enough to remember those. And I was like, oh, the Fellowship, the Ring's out. And like I was talking on the phone with a friend of mine, and he's like, dude, just buy it. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, dude, just buy it. You're going to want to buy it. Just buy it. And then I watched that. And I'm like, holy fuck, this is amazing, dude. I absolutely fucking loved it. The great part about not getting into it till then was there wasn't much of a wait for the Two Towers, which I saw the day it came out by myself. And then after I watched that, I was like, I can't wait a year to find out how this fucking ends. So I basically went out and bought all the books. I actually started with The Hobbit, and I read it all the way through to the end, the whole, that and all three books. Because I was like, I cannot wait to find out what the fuck happens here. And then I saw the God damn it, the Return of the King. I could not think of the name, but yeah, that one, midnight show, first fucking night.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my friends all went to see that shit.
God.
So that was a weird one. Because again, like I said, I knew, I was in the accelerated classes with all the other nerds. So I was definitely aware of it, but I'm like, that's stupid. That's fucking retarded. Didn't give it a chance at all. The dumbass kid.
It happens. It happens. Like, the Two Towers in particular was an interesting one, because the budget for that was like $94 million, and it made $951 million. Like, God, that is fuck you money if I ever seen one. And then, like, the third one, about the same, $94 million was the budget. And $1.151 billion. Like, good Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, any of the individual ones more than made up for the cost to make all three of them.
Yep. Like, the total for all three films was $281 million. And the total of all three films, the total was like $2.98 million or billion dollars. It's like, that's a lot of.
The scale of those films, that's not that expensive.
Yep. Well, that was back.
No, Peter Jackson did an amazing job with that, dude.
Yeah, that was also like early 2000s, like 2001, 2003. So like back then, but nowadays you hear like the basic Marvel movie is like I don't know, $300 million or something, or $200 million, which is insanely expensive.
Well, they got it. Like I understand what the superhero movies costing so much, because it's not cheap to make somebody genuinely look like they're like a superhero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to make it look like they're actually flying around, because you see some of the Spider-Man's ones with the really shitty CGI Spider-Man, and it's like, oh, that's fucking awful. You know what I mean? But then there's some where it's like the CGI actually works with the film's special effects to make it look like it's really Iron Man, or it's really fucking Captain America or Thor or whatever flying around.
Well, we did find out recently, because it's been an ongoing thing, about like why these Marvel movies are so expensive, and it turns out it's because of the reshoots. And when they say reshoots, it seems to be like they're filming an entirely new movie. Essentially, that's why they all sort of ballooned. Because actually, if they just had a proper story and got everything all lined up, these movies would only really, realistically, especially with CGI and all that, realistically, they only needed about maybe $50 million. They're not that expensive when you think about it. It's just that the expensive part is the constant reshoots, and they think they can do that because these movies make so much money, and because they make so much money, yeah. So what? We'll reshoot an entire movie. I mean, who cares if we?
Oh
if
yeah,
we done,
remember
like,
there was the what's his name's cut?
Yep. Zack Snyder.
Yeah, the Zack Snyder cut where it was like, oh, this is a whole different fucking movie.
Yeah.
Because like literally from beginning to end, it was an entirely different film when you watched the Zack Snyder cut of that Justice League movie.
I still haven't seen the Zack Snyder cut. I don't know what it is.
It's really good. It takes a movie that's fucking awful. Because I watched the first one and it was terrible. Right? And then it makes it totally watchable and entertaining, and you're like, oh, I wish they'd make another one. It's insane how much of a difference it is. It's like an entirely different film. I don't know how much of what was in the original they actually used, but it doesn't seem like a lot.
Well,
Yeah,
I
and
know
the actors
that.
not get paid extra. They actually have to like to negotiate how much they get paid to do the reshoots. It's not like that's in the original contract.
Well, yeah.
So they can
Part of
ask
the other
for
problem was
whatever.
that Zack Snyder's daughter died during the filming of Justice League, so he had to step away, and Josh Whedon came in to fill in the rest of the movie. But even he was like, yeah, because the movie was kind of a mistake to begin with because of all the nonsense that had happened. Because they were trying to, they let Zack Snyder do whatever he wants because his movies tend to make a lot of money. But the problem is that he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just kind of lucking out. Like 300 made a lot of money, and so did Watchmen. But they made a lot of money because of the source material, not because of what Zack Snyder did. And then they let Zack Snyder pretty much write things and do whatever he wanted, which is kind of the problem. Because I don't know if you ever seen Man of Steel, but that movie's actually pretty bad. It's not a good movie.
I'm sure he's made bad movies. I'm just saying that the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League was a drastic improvement over the original film.
Well,
that came out. Like,
right.
Joss Whedon's version was fucking garbage comparatively.
Well, that's not really his fault. Partially because, like I said, Zack Snyder, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he can't write worth shit. He doesn't know what he's doing, and there was a lot of back and forth, and it was kind of a disaster from the get-go. So then they brought Josh Whedon in to try and fix it, but he couldn't do anything because the movie was like 90% done. He mostly just
that doesn't make any sense because the movie from Zack Snyder's cut to version to Joss Whedon's version are two completely different films. Like
the reason is the Zack Snyder cut, they brought in writers. That's why.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay, because all I know is like the Zack Snyder cut is I would never watch the Joss Whedon one again.
See, yeah, because Josh Whedon, he came in to try and fix it, but the movie was almost already done. There wasn't much there for him to work with. So he gets a lot of shit for that, but that wasn't his fault. That was a Zack Snyder thing. And I'll give you another example. There's a Netflix movie friend. It was Zack Snyder's version of Star Wars. It's called Rebel Moon, and it's on Netflix. And give that a watch because that's him trying to make a Star Wars movie. And
I don't want to watch any Star Wars movies.
Well, it's not Star Wars.
No, I know, but I mean, just like I'm so fucking fed up with Star Wars. That's a terrible way of selling it.
Well, yeah, because what happened was that he was supposed to work with Disney on a Star Wars series, and Star Wars, they sort of said, nah, that's okay, we're not going to go with this. And they essentially fired him, but he still had the script. So he took that script to Netflix and said, yeah, I'll just change this, and this, and there you go. Legally distinct, let's go. And that's what you're with. Essentially, it's all him. It's all, like, if you're worried about it being like a Disney Star Wars, Disney was pretty much hands off for the most part, and it shows. So I give it a watch, man. You see what I mean?
Oh, I loved The Watchmen. I thought it was a great movie.
Well, again, like The Watchmen, like he did The Watchmen, but he was just adapting what was already there. He didn't do any writing, really. He's like, yeah, we'll just do that. And funny enough, if you like Watchmen, there is like a new, I think, Watchmen animated series coming out. I don't know why, but they're doing it.
What are they gonna do? Like, what story are they gonna tell? Because the story's already been told. Like,
Yeah, they're going to retell it again.
oh, why would I watch that? I don't really see any reason. Like, I'm not interested.
Well,
Thanks, I'll pass.
I don't know. I don't know either, but I'll just let you know. It's all CGI and
Yeah.
everything that looks like a comic book, and so yeah.
I mean,
So there you
cool.
go.
I like the story, but like, unless they're coming out with something new from the movie, I don't really see much of a point.
Yeah, I said the exact same thing. I saw that and thought, why? Why would you? Okay. I think it's because they need something that sells, and they're like, well, Watchmen sells, so we'll just redo Watchmen. Because Warner Brothers, I don't know if you heard, but Warner Brothers is in the tank. None of their movies are selling. None of their products are doing well. Nothing is working, and they have nothing in the pipeline. So they're just going to rehash old stuff and pray that it works. And make it cheap. That's why it's cheap CGI and not hand-drawn stuff. Because a lot of their hand-drawn, because they've been known for doing like a lot of hand-drawn DC animated movies, but this time they're like, no, we'll just do it CGI, do it cheap. I wouldn't be surprised if they AI'd the shit out of all the backgrounds or something.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, they're going to cut as many corners as they can. It also didn't help that there was that controversy with the Harry Potter series, with what was that the Beast movies. The guy who found all the Beasts, put them in a suitcase, wrote a book.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I forget what his name is offhand. Oh,
I hate those. I hate that movie. I hate those movies so much. They are really infuriating. I am more than you know. And it's funny because in the first movie, I saw like wizards in like the 1930s New York wearing trench coats and stuff and bringing out wands. Like the concept looked fucking cool. I thought, hey, let's go with that. But then I tired up to all the Harry Potter related stuff, and it's like, oh god, can we just not? I just want something original. Not to mention the start had like this thing with this prisoner getting out of like this floating carriage with these winged horses. I mean, it's kind of badass, and then it sucks. Also, the editing is horrendous. It is some of the worst edited movie I've one of the worst I've ever seen. And then there was the sequel, and it was just as bad.
not
Johnny
surprising.
Well, and Johnny Depp was supposed to play the villain, and he was in the second movie, and in the third one they recast him because all the controversy went on. And then we found out. Yeah, and then of course, as the movie comes out, what did we find out? Oh, he's innocent of all charges. So it's like you recasted him. You did it for nothing, apparently.
Well, apparently they're going to be doing a new Pirates of the Caribbean film. I've heard about that coming out. I don't know if Johnny Depp's involved or not. I assume it's gonna fucking tank miserably if it ever actually ends up coming out.
Yeah, if Johnny Depp isn't in there, it's like don't even bother.
Yeah, so silly.
Yeah. Well, also they're remaking the Harry Potter series. I think they're going to turn it into like an Amazon series.
They're gonna redo the Harry Potter films?
Yep.
They're gonna make it. They're not even that old.
Like, yeah, I know, right?
Christ.
Well, and they're going to turn it into a TV series, and they're going to get a bunch of actors.
That's fucking terrible.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, we're talking kids, right? They're gonna get young-looking actors, and they're gonna pretend to be like teenagers. Because you know that's what they're gonna do. Because they have no.
I hope they do that one where it's like all the actors look like they're in their 50s.
By the time
like,
they finally finish,
fellow teenagers vibes.
By the time they finally finish, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh god, that'll be funny.
And they already announced that Hermione is going to be black. I'm like, okay, all right,
we're done. Bye.
Yeah, well, it's going to make money no matter what because
Hermione's already established. Like, I don't understand why they feel the need to fucking rewrite characters that have already been done.
Well, in the rumor is...
Oh, yeah, we have this character that's awesome. Let's make a black version of it, or a Mexican version of it, or a fucking Asian version. It's like, why don't you just make a new character? It's not that fucking hard.
There's two reasons why they did this. One, there was a Harry Potter play, and the actor who played Hermione was black there, so it's a reference to that. The other reason is that Amazon has a diversity and inclusion division, and it says that in order to get anything made there, you have to do some sort of like DEI diversity stuff, and Hermione being black makes sense. So then there you go. Other characters are going to be like you're trans or whatever else, but a lot of that's not going to really matter because they're going to be background characters anyways. So who cares?
Oh yeah, the
So
irony.
yeah, exactly. There's a similar controversy because they're making a Warhammer series on Amazon, but it's also having the exact same problem because Henry Cavill, he's also the producer and the guy working on it, but he's trying to work with Amazon, and Amazon's saying that there's this group called the Custodies. They watch after their big leader, the God Emperor, but they're all men, and they have to be men. It's been established in Warhammer lore that they have to be men because the process to become a custody, women, because of their biology, they will literally die if they go through the process to become a custody. Big, buff, burly kind of guys. It also fucks with your brains and stuff like that. And it's been established this way since the origin of Warhammer, from like back in like was it the 80s or something? I can't remember. It's really old. It's been around for a bit. Amazon is saying that you have to have a female custody, and they're holding firm. Otherwise, they're not going to make the series is not going to get made.
Well,
Now,
hopefully Cavill will just walk the fuck away.
the problem is if he does, then it's going to get even worse because he's trying to keep it protected.
I don't think he can do anything. I think why frustrate yourself? Just walk the fuck away.
Well,
They're gonna fuck it over whether he wants him to or not. So,
well, the thing is that there's a lot riding on this because Henry Cavill, he's been fucked over so many times in Hollywood and all that stuff. But part of the reason is, well, one, to protect the IP because he's a big fan of Warhammer. It's been a part of his life since he was a kid. He loves it. He wants to save it as much as possible. If he walks away, it's going to get fucked up and go to hell. But also, it's going to go to hell because they're going to do whatever the fuck they want to it, and it'll be completely unrecognizable at that point. But also, if he can actually succeed and get the show made with everything intact, one, the show's going to be amazing. Two, his credibility will go through the roof. And that's part of the reason why they don't want to do it, because if this comes out and it's a huge hit, he'll be like Steven Spielberg. No one questions Steven Spielberg. If he tells you he's going to do something, you get the fuck out of his way. He's going to fucking do it. All right,
yeah,
Harry Cavill has Harry Cavill. If he gets this done, no one will ever fuck with him ever again in Hollywood, and everything he does will be approved, and they know it. They can't let him win. Otherwise, there'll be no stopping him. And he has so many things he wants to get made. Because the other thing he was in was The Witcher. And he was a big fan of The Witcher too, and he signed up on everything, assuming that everyone was a fan. But then once he finally gets the scripts for the episodes, and he realizes, oh fuck, they fucked up with this. They're doing all this progressive nonsense, and they're going to turn the main character into like a bumbling idiot. I'm like, oh no. But he already signed the contract, so he had to do it. So he did everything he could to try and save it. Notoriously, we've all known about this. He's been trying to warn people about it. And so then now he's like, everyone loves Henry Cavill because he tried to save us. And everyone feels sorry for him because he got fucked over with Superman. He got fucked over with The Witcher. And here he is with Amazon, and they're going to fuck him over again unless he can pull a victory. And that's what we're all rooting for. I'm not even the biggest Warhammer fan, but
oh yeah, I can give no shits about Warhammer, but I'm already rooting for Cavill.
I know it. My God, I'm rooting for the guy. But other people just sort of capitulate and work with it and think, okay, fine. There'll be like an odd change, like the Invincible series. I don't know if you ever watched that, but it's also got like lots of progressive stuff. But it's still a good show. So,
oh yeah. Well, one of the things that like is so sad about like the weird propaganda shit that's going on right now is that a lot of the stuff that's getting made doesn't have to be as awful as it is to convey the message that they want. It's not even that they're conveying like progressive values and stuff that's really the issue. It's that they're hiring the worst writers who have no idea what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I don't give a shit about a character being a lesbian or being gay or whatever, but it's obnoxious to just rewrite characters that already exist. But somebody who's a good writer wouldn't do that. They'd understand. They'd be like, look, if this is already a thing that exists, there's no reason to fuck with it. Let's just make something new.
Well, and from what I can understand, the funny thing is with Disney is that they've already changed policy positions. They've already said, okay, no more of this kind of stuff. The problem is that they've scared all the creatives away. No one wants to work for Disney.
Oh,
And
they
they're
didn't
kind of
just scare them away. They fucking ripped them off, too. Like, a lot of those people weren't getting paid properly, and, like...
Mhm.
You know, the Disney's gotten involved in more than a few scandals about, like, underpaying employees and, like, abusing employees. I don't know if it's still going on, but there was recently a strike that actually happened at one of their parks.
Yep.
Like, their own park employees went out on strike.
Yep. Well, part of the other reason for that is the health reasons, because they made cuts. They're fucking everywhere. Like in Florida in particular, where the heat is really bad, they no longer they didn't fix the air conditioner, and so a lot of the actors are bad. Like some of them passed out live on the set.
Oh, and the thing is, the policy with the actors is that if they pass out for some reason while they're in like public, they're not supposed to be taken out of the costumes till they're carted away behind closed doors.
Yep.
Which could mean the difference if you're dealing with somebody who's suffering from severe heat stroke between being alive the next day or being dead the next day.
Yep.
And so, like, that's a big deal. Like, it's like, I don't fucking care about some little kid's fucking experience. If somebody's in genuine medical distress, you fucking help them that moment. You don't wait to help them. And that's part of also, I'm assuming part of what also is going on with the strikes too, is the fact that, like, you know, like these employees are not only being like underpaid and like treated poorly, but they're like physically being abused. Like their safety is literally like at risk. I think is Detroit having some connection issues or something?
Yeah. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I was wondering if that was what was going on, because you kept like disappearing out and coming back, and I was like, oh, I wonder if his connection's bad. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, well, something weird happened. I launched like the Subway Surfers game, and it cut out. So I like disconnected, reconnected for that, and then the dog was being an asshole, so I was taking him outside, so I muted for that. And then when I came back on, my voice didn't seem to be coming through.
Yeah, no, we did not hear anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we're good.
We got a new puppy in my household too, and it's fucking annoying. An actual puppy.
What kind of pup?
It's another Pomeranian. It's an all-black one. She is incredibly energetic. She's harassing the shit out of my other dog. Well, she just keeps nipping at her, and then she has very long legs, so she's actually jumping over top of the dogs. It's both cute and entertaining and highly annoying.
Should have been a golden or Bernese.
Yeah.
Or a Newfoundland. That's a Canadian dog, technically, right?
I don't know if that is or not. Maybe Newfoundland is a Canadian thing. I don't know about the dog though. Could just be a happy coincidence.
Yeah. Those are the only 3 dog breeds that should be allowed. Golden Retrievers, Bernese Mountain Dogs, and Newfoundland.
I had like a rare dog who I would say like that should be a dog on that list. It's called a Swedish Lap Hunt. The tricolor,
yeah, like all the other Swedish dogs.
Well, no, she was all black, medium-sized dog. My God, it's probably the best personality I've ever had on a dog.
We had a Finnish Laphound. Finnish Laphound. You had a Swedish Laphound. We had a Finnish Laphound for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Just unfortunately, ours was like traumatic. Like had a traumatic childhood, so it was all fucked up. So it was not a good personality.
Yeah, I thought all the Swedish dogs, or maybe it's the Bernese, like the actual mountain ones, are all tricolor, like the black and white with then like rust-colored spots on them.
I think that's a different one. The ones I have or had was a black one, and they're actually like one of the rarer dogs of the world because the Sweden doesn't let them leave the country. I think what happened was that someone was trying to smuggle dogs and got caught and just sort of let them out because we caught her when she was an adult, and we were moving and we stopped off at the gas station and we saw this dog walking around, a very friendly dog, and the guy at the gas station said, "Yeah, you want her? Because she's just been wandering." And we said, "Sure." And my God, one of the most well behaved dogs I've ever seen. Came right in, sat on the seat, was very well behaved, didn't bark nothing. Yeah. Didn't attack nobody, was just very friendly. Yeah, I love that dog.
Yeah, most of the Swedish dogs seem to have really good personalities. Very similar to the Golden, so that's kind of nice.
Oh, that could be, yeah. Real quick,
familiar with the Bernese Mountain Dogs? They're basically giant, like versions of like fucking Goldens, basically.
Oh, okay. Before I forget, I was going to say real quick on the Star Wars thing, so I don't forget. Apparently, Gina Carano won her case against Disney.
Oh, nice.
Well, it didn't get dismissed. They had done like a motion to dismiss or whatever, and that got denied. Like Disney had a motion to dismiss that got denied.
Yeah,
so, the case itself hasn't won yet, but it has not been thrown out, which is a great thing.
And all she has to do is get Discovery. Once she gets Discovery, holy shit, Disney's in so much trouble.
Yeah. Now I assume they're going to throw a whole shitload of money at her to not have that happen.
Oh, I imagine that they would, but I don't think it's going to really matter because Elon Musk is funding her thing, so it's like money ain't no object.
Shit!
Interesting.
Disney's got to be real fucking unhappy about that. Like she's got fucking pockets galore now.
Well, you have to remember, like Disney was making like jabs at Elon Musk and all that, and threatened to remove ad funding from like Twitter. He's like, well, fuck you! I got fuck you money. I don't care.
No. Be accurate. He said specifically to Bob Iger, "Go fuck yourself."
You're right. Thank you.
I hope I'm making myself understood. Go fuck yourself.
Oh yeah, I love when he repeated it like that. He's like, I want to make sure nobody mistakes what I'm saying here. I am clearly using profanity and telling this guy he's a giant pile of dog shit.
Oh my God, yes, that was so good. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Like, yes, fuck you.
Well, but like he had a really good point where he was like, "You think you're gonna fucking threaten me with fucking financial issues? Like you're gonna take away money from me and control me with money? Really? Like go get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. Yeah, I'll run this fucking thing into the ground and still come out fine. Fuck
like
you.
Me, McStabby Pants, if Disney wants to buy me off, they can. I'm for sale. 100%. I will happily take a large sum of money to get rid of my moral standards for no problem. But you know, Elon Musk has got billions of dollars. Like, he's not broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got fuck you money. Like, yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, man. I mean, you gotta admit so much if they came to you and they're like, yeah, we want you to write our newest DEI, like, flagship show and animate it. You'd be like, yes, sir, give me all that fucking Disney cash.
In all honesty, if I was to do something like that, they said, yeah, we'll have you run the DEI department and you're gonna, you know, chauffeur this animated projects, I'll probably tell them, yeah, guys, do whatever you want. It's like, oh yeah, you're not gonna tell? Nah, you just do whatever you want. Yep. They're gonna pay me. Yeah, they're gonna pay me to do nothing. That's what they're gonna do.
Exactly.
And then they're gonna say, how are you kind of doing this? Well, sir, I mean, we've been taking into account.
I'm a white male. My voice isn't important, so I hired this lady over here who's zero experience to tell everybody what to do for me.
See, I've seen enough of hearings and stuff that I think I know how to filibuster. If they start asking me questions, I'll say, well, let me be perfectly clear. We're quite impressed with the quality and the service, and I'll just filibuster with bullshit and bullshit and bullshit. Like, sir, we'll keep you here for an hour, and I will use every minute of it. I will. And then we'll get the show out there, and if it's a success, I'm like, okay, great. Although I guess success doesn't really matter. I mean, the guy Bo DeMaio, he did that X-Men cartoon show that came out, huge success of a show. He still got fired, and I still don't know why.
Oh well, like there was I don't know if this is relevant to that particular show, but there's apparently a lot of people who've done a lot of work for like the Cartoon Network that never got paid properly.
Well,
like they just didn't pay a lot of their people.
Well, there's another controversy with that. I don't know if you heard, but turns out that a large portion of the animation industry has been getting their work done from North Korea.
Oh, that's not surprising. Yeah, they've been outsourcing and getting other people to do the work cheaper.
I can't remember what the show was that came out recently, but yeah, it was. What happened is that it's not uncommon. They'll outsource to someone else, and then they'll outsource to someone else. It's just that I can't remember what the project was that came out recently, and they didn't hide the information properly, and so then they found out that it was being animated by North Korea, which of course, because of all the conflicts and stuff going on, you're not allowed to do. And it was let slip that a lot of projects have been made by North Korea, some of which being a majority of the DC animated movies, like the superhero kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A very large portion of Cartoon Network stuff, Rick and Morty and all that kind of thing, all done in North Korea. God, I can't remember. I think Disney stuff was also done in North Korea. So these things are being done. They're not supposed to be.
Not being done correctly.
Well, legally, because you're not supposed to be working with the enemy, if you will. And North Korea technically is one.
Oh, shit. So, I didn't connect that you were saying North with the Korea part. Oh, God. I was thinking South Korea. Oh, that's fucking insane. They're doing it through North Korea?
Yeah. Sorry, I should have said North. More pronouncedly North Korea.
God damn. No, I just missed that it was North Korea. That's fucking that's not good.
That's the harsh part. Yeah. So
what is it? Fucking, this is just more shit that leads back to China.
It does. Yeah.
Fucking, because like, what is it in the Philippines right now? There's this big thing where it turns out one of the mayors in the Philippines was a Chinese spy.
Yep.
Who was sent there to like help the Chinese crime, because like the Chinese crime syndicate is part of the government, like they control it, and she was sent there to like help the Chinese like partially control the Philippines, as well as to also like assist their criminal organization in getting a better foothold.
Yep. Yeah, sounds about right.
Alice Gao or whatever. And like they found out because her facial biometrics apparently match up exactly to like a Chinese woman, so she's not even from like the Philippines. And then she's trying to like play this game of like, oh, they're wasting all their time trying to harass me, and I'm not even like a bad person. But look at all these terrible things that are going on in the country. Like, people are, like, starving, and they can't afford housing. And it's like, bitch, you're a fucking Chinese spy. That's a big fucking deal.
Yeah. Oh, it's a similar problem here in Canada, where we found out 11 of our ministers are taking money from China and India.
Wow, dude, that's fucking insane.
So what happened was that so the RCMP, which is our FBI here up here in Canada, they did find out that there were people who politicians in particular who were taking money, and they notified the Prime Minister, but he put in some sort of a gag order on it, so that way you couldn't publish the information, you couldn't release it, you couldn't do that kind of stuff, and anyone who wants to see it, like in the government, all that, they can, but they have to sign like an NDA. They can't disclose anything. And in there it says that, one, you can't say who's in there, and you can't fire anyone who's involved. So like if you're the leader of a party and you found out that some of your members are actually Chinese spies or something or whatever, you can't fire them. You can't touch them. Can't do anything about it.
Wow.
So it's like a massive gag order. So
That's
this
fucking
information,
dark.
yeah. So like,
Gee,
I
I
think
wonder if it was just those ministers, or if the prime minister's involved. Gosh,
well,
I sure couldn't tell from that situation that it was obvious that the prime minister's also taking money from China, trying to like limit the fucking damage their
I'll
exposure
tell you.
has gained.
I'll tell you. Going back here, like decades ago, we had a prime minister who stepped down. I think it was John Chan. He stepped down because of allegations that he was taking money from China. Now, before that the information was made public, he stepped down as prime minister and walked away and all that. And then, of course, through he was also like found guilty of the ethics violations. Because it turns out, yeah, he was taking money from China. So go fucking figure. That's also how we ended up with our first ever female prime minister, Kim Campbell. She wasn't there for very long. Obviously, she was like the deputy prime minister of the Liberal Party. But that's been a problem with the Liberal Party for quite some time. Now, when Justin Trudeau before he became like prime minister, there was a donation to the Trudeau Foundation, which is like a charity organization, trying to give
A way
like,
for him to like launder money is what you really
yeah.
is.
So the Chinese government,
like the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah, the Chinese government donated $300 million to the Trudeau Foundation and the donation of a statue of Trudeau's father, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. So he gets a statue of his father and $300 million. So go figure. You don't think that's going to add any favors? Of course, Trudeau, when asked about that, he's like, "I haven't been a part of the foundation for so and so amount of time, but he was a member of it when he received the money." So I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? Was that so? We don't know. His connections aren't really made clear. But going back to today, like of the whole the RCMP kind of stuff, two leaders of two separate parties, the NDP, which is our Socialist Party, and the Green Party, which is the Environmental Party, the leaders of those parties both signed that NDA and read the RCMP document, and both made press conferences, and both came up with very different information. Olivia May, the leader of the Green Party, said, "I've read through the information, and there's nothing alarming whatsoever. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to see here," is essentially what she said. The leader of the NDP party said, "This is very disturbing. There's 11 members taking money from this party," and then he foolishly said, "No one from my party has signed it, or no one from my party has received any money from these foreign actors," which is kind of bizarre. Also, it's like they're not supposed to say anything, like nothing at all. So he could be in some legal trouble over that.
I would consider it my responsibility to name the names flat out to the press, if not like literally just hand them the fucking document.
Well, if any of them did, it's straight up to jail.
Throw me in jail. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well,
there's 11 spies working for my government. I'm gonna fucking tell the people. Like that's me. I don't. Whatever anybody else wants to do is fine. Like whatever the consequences are, that's not what I'd be thinking about. I'd be thinking about like as a citizen of the United States. If I found out like 11 people in Congress were fucking taking money from China, I'd absolutely out them. Yeah. I don't care if it's jail time or not. Like, fine, I'll do jail time, bitch.
Well, yeah, it's China, it's India. But I think part of the other reason why they signed it is because it's also sort of legal protection. Because if anyone gets brought up for questioning and say, like, when did you know this and that, he says, I signed the NDA, I can't tell you anything. So it's
plausible deniability. I'm not allowed to talk. I can't talk. I'm not allowed.
I can't talk, otherwise I'll go to jail. I'm sorry, I can't say anything. I signed the thing. I'm sorry, it's a legal binding. I can't do nothing. So I think that's why they signed it, because I think they know perfectly well that shit's about to hit the fan. And just so you know, and you guys know about this, here in Canada, we definitely have a problem with immigration. We have, like, in my city alone.
Oh, like, yeah. Every first world country has that right now. All the like Western nations.
Yeah, but I can tell you, like, definitely someone made a deal with India, because the amount of Indians I see is insane. I've never seen this in my entire life.
Poland has authorized like live rounds to keep people from breaking across their borders to try to steal their fucking services, like to get in and be like, oh, like, yeah, because all these people are not coming to build new lives. They're coming to get free money and suck dry your fucking social services money.
Yep, go figure.
No intention of working. They're never gonna get jobs. They're just gonna sit there and suck off the programs.
And the other problem is the ones who are working are doing all the low wage jobs like McDonald's and stuff. And the problem with that is that, well, there's a couple problems, but the major one being is that when you're a young person and you're trying to get work experience, those jobs are entry jobs, and those are the jobs that like bigger employees ask, like you know,
Those
how
are
come you know they
the only jobs that are there for most uneducated people at this point, though, too, because factory work has all been moved over into like China and like India and Africa.
yeah, well, a lot of that's going in there. And
So
like I
like
said,
it
like,
used to be, young people could go get experience working at a fucking factory, and now it's like you can't even do that. You have to go to like McDonald's or something.
well, yeah, but you can't do McDonald's because you're doing that full time. But the other problem is that a lot of these people, like the other problem is that we have a student visa program, so people will come over here as students and to try to get. But a lot of the times they're not actually students. They come in here to some fake college or university, and these colleges and universities boast about their millions of people coming over to their colleges and stuff. But if you ever go to these places, they're like kiosks in a mall. They're like small little stores, and they boast that each location says they have millions of students. Well, the building isn't big enough to house millions of students. It's not even big enough to hold like 5 people, and yet they're
So it's
saying
like a diploma mill, basically.
exactly it's a diploma mill.
Thing.
Well, and the other thing is
Not
like
to
these
mention,
people,
also a lot of these students will take out loans and credit cards and all the things they can, and then just leave the country.
Yep.
So
Well,
they're robbing the fucking banks blind.
Well, and a lot of these people, they don't have to, like, you don't have to pay them, like, the full minimum wage because they're not citizens. Like, here in Canada, like, Canadian citizens, yeah, like, our minimum wage is actually pretty high. And it's kind of ridiculous. But you don't have to pay that to these foreigners because they're not actually people. Or I'm not, sorry, I don't mean it that way. I mean, like, citizens, not actual citizens. Not actual people.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
That may have been the worst thing I've ever seen.
Have you seen what Chinese society looks like? It's pretty accurate as a statement, if that's what you're talking about.
Well, India as well. I don't know if you've ever seen India. It's not.
Oh yeah,
the
people
greatest
try to
place.
romanticize these places. It's like, dude, it's a bunch of fucking savages. Like, no offense, bro, but you know, if
Yeah,
you
the
live
street cheaters
in a
think that come out of
normal
nowhere.
Western civilization, you would not recognize their society. Like, you would just be like, this is disgusting.
You know the other thing about India I've learned, and now I'm kind of disgusted to use a public bathroom, is that in India it's a because we go in there and we wash our hands. In India they also wash their feet, and so they'll often have like dirty feet and stuff, and they'll wash them in the sink. And I'm like,
wow.
oh my god! I'm actually seeing signs saying like don't wash your feet. That's because of that.
Well, here, like, what is it? Like, the plumbing in Mexico is so bad that, like, we have to have signs in our bathrooms here, especially in the southern bordered areas, that say, like, please throw your toilet paper in the toilet and not on the floor.
Oh god, yeah, that was
Dude, a bitch I work with at the Mexican food restaurant did that shit. We had to tell her to stop.
But when I
Yeah,
went
she was
to-
from Mexico, so
when
she
I
was
went to-
throwing her shitty, in the fucking trash.
And it's
yes.
like, they don't know any better. Like, I'm not upset with them, but a lot
Well-
of the times, like, you get like these stupid people who are like corporate fucking idiots who are like, you can't put signs up, you can't tell people that, and it's like, well, wait, why not? Like, they don't know. The plumbing in Mexico is so awful that they can't throw it away or it'll break the plumbing. Like, why would you not let them know that it's perfectly fine?
Yeah, that was a culture shock for me when I went to Mexico. I just thought it was kind of weird because all their toilet paper is scented. And apparently, whatever it is that they put on their toilet paper, my body has a bad reaction to. And so when I wiped my butt, it was fucking painful. I had it was so sore. Because of the,
I
because of
get
whatever
that from those
and
fucking
the
wet wipes.
reaction?
The Cottonelle wet wipes do that to me every time. It's like itching and burning and like, it's not fun.
Oh yeah, I like Mexico. The climate's great. The landscape is beautiful. My God, my ass was so sore. I was like, some days I was borderline crying. I could feel myself going like, I have to fart, but oh God, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Oh God, it's like the anxiety of having to pass gas is absolutely horrifying. It's like I said, if I ever go back to Mexico, I'm gonna go on Amazon. I'm gonna buy like a travel bidet. I don't fucking care. I'm gonna fucking spray water up my ass. I am not using that toilet paper ever again.
Oh yeah. Well, what was it? I don't know if it's still the case, but when my friend was traveling through India, you would wipe your ass with your hand, like your left hand, and then you would wash your hand.
Oh
I think
god,
that's a
yeah.
Middle Eastern thing.
Well,
think
that's
so.
how it was in India at the time when he was there. Like he was
Because you also have to
very
remember,
explicit about
There
it.
are a lot of Muslims there.
Yeah, we also have to remember in India they don't really have a lot of plumbing, so a lot of times if you have to go, you just pop a squat.
Oh yeah, they had to like have a big fucking a big like press campaign to get people to stop shitting in the middle of the street.
Yeah, yeah. I remember watching like it was like a BBC documentary talking about it, and part of the reason why a lot of guys like because they wear like those, especially Muslims, like they wear those gowns, and the reason why so that way if you don't have to like take down your pants and then squat over top of your pants, it's like because you don't want to take it off. That's why you have a gown.
Oh, I thought the gowns were because like you could get airflow and still keep the sun off of you.
I think that's a bonus, but that's the predominant reason is so that way you can pop a squat and not shit on your pants.
I mean, to be fair, that's not a bad plan.
Yeah, well, and that's why they have that. It's like, oh my god. So now whenever I see like people wearing that stuff walking around my area, I'm like, oh god, please don't shit in the streets. Which of course is an increasing problem.
Oh well, I mean,
You just walk up to them and tell them there's plenty of public bathrooms around. Preemptively tell them, hey, there's plenty of public bathrooms to use around here. Just point them out.
I don't think they know what a public bathroom is really.
Oh, if you've seen apparently the restrooms in some of those places are just horrific. Like just beyond awful. Where like people are like, I've seen travel videos where people are like talking about how amazing it is, and they'll go and they'll be like, oh, we gotta use the restroom, and then they come back and they're like, no, I will hold it till somewhere else. It's cool. Oh man. Oh well, you know what? Dinner has been ready for a few minutes here.
Sorry, yeah,
and we're a little bit past our normal time anyway.
Sounds good.
So
I will
it's probably
talk
about time
later.
to clear it off since we got to a good stopping point there.
Sounds good.